Be cool, be kind, be classy. The cupcakes so sweet and sexy. Have fun and enjoy the journey. Just have a good attorney. No big whoop, no biggie. She lives near New York City. Not just a YouTube show. When you know, you better grab a straw. Learn about the law. It's cool here in the shade, sipping motions of lemonade. Cool heads will prevail, kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Oh, Melanie Little is going live. Oh no, where is Melanie? Follow the island's melody. There's a concert within reach. No surprise, she's at Jones Beach. She heard some music far away. Captain Jack Stack Harbor Bay. He sings and his piano plays. Not all sounds are waterways. Speaking Yiddish and Latin, it's not just for Manhattan. It's for Goethe and Meshegas. Ridiculous that insanus. Oy vey, Marcus. Proset, that's for schmucks. Be cool, be kind, be classy. My cupcakes sweet and sassy. Not just a YouTube show. When you know. Cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Melanie Little is going live.
Hello. Hello, my friends. Today's Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. And is this real or am I dreaming? I don't even, people are like, oh, the title of the show is so cryptic. What are we going to talk about? What aren't we going to talk about? Oh my, is there so much to talk about? Cosgrove resigned. Some other special prosecutor that I didn't even know was a special prosecutor has resigned. Lindsay Gattani is spiraling, and she's telling us everything. You missed. I'm gonna play the Billy Bush. When I was on Billy Bush this morning, he texted me at like 8:45. He's like, "Hey, do you want to come on around 10?" And luckily, I didn't have a show scheduled yet. I was like, sure. He said, do you want to come on and talk about Karen Reed going on the offense? I said, oh, yes, I do. So I'm here for you guys because there's a lot of stuff going on. And I just don't even know where to start at this point. Thank you, Kelly. Applegate, who says, first of all, she gifted 5 members. So welcome to the 5 new members. So randomly gifted by YouTube. Then comes in here with a $50 bill and says, girl, can we start with the crazy idiot videos? Girl, thank you so much for your 50. You are very, it's Melanie After Dark, so we don't know what could happen. We have no idea what could happen, except the world has gone crazy. What's happening with the planets right now? Is there something in retrograde? Is there something is happening? There's so much to say. I think in song lyrics, usually Dave Matthews. That's why I have a fire dancer emoji. I don't know if Dave Matthews' neighbor is here, but is this real or am I dreaming? Because I literally don't even know anymore if this is real, if I'm dreaming, if what I'm reading is really the people they purport to be. Some really hot legal takes that have been not so great since the Karen Reed hearing in civil court. I was kind of surprised by that. It's a mad world. Karma knows your address. My head has already popped off too. I don't even know where it is at this point. And it's crazy. Where do we even start? Let's start with Billy Bush, because I did that this morning and I didn't even have a chance to promote it. I think I told about 4 people. So let's start there and that'll give me a chance to pull some more things up. Let me know that you can hear it. This was from 10 o'clock this morning. And it was so funny because I came into the green room, like when you go on StreamYard, you kind of go into like the backstage area. He's got a producer named Steve. And he's back there, and the two of them are like chatting, and they can't see me. I'm like, hello, I'm here. Hello, hello, I'm Cardi B. Hello, I'm here. And he sees what I have on, and he's like, oh my God, I got to go change my shirt. Like a t-shirt on. He's like, I got to go change my shirt. So he went and he changed his shirt. I guess he felt not as dressed up as I was, which, look, I'm in a sweatshirt right now. Sco Buffs. All right. So this came in at exactly the right time. Mama Roll asked a question. This was 10 a.m. He does a show at 10 a.m. Eastern and a show at 5 p.m. Eastern. Somebody asked about Karen Reed, and he was like, oh, well, good thing you asked, because Melanie Little's here. Here we go.
Going on here. Oh, hey, Mama Roll, what was your take on Karen Reed's civil hearing yesterday? And for that, we bring in a real authority right here. Surprise, everybody.
Dun,
Say hello
dun,
to
dun.
Melanie Little. Melanie.
Hello. Hey, Billy, good morning.
Good morning,
Morning.
gorgeous. How you doing? Shana Tova, baby.
Shana Tova to all of our friends who celebrate.
Yeah. So this was incredible. Karen Reed is right in the middle of this hearing yesterday for the civil trial that the O'Keefe family is putting on her. This guy, Damon Seligson, is he like an Aussie, this lawyer? I mean, he's cute, huh?
He's South African.
South African, handsome fella, no?
And he's very good at what he does, too. Yeah, sure. He's easy to look at, I'd say.
Do you like a bald man?
Corey Stoll is not a bad-looking bald man.
That's true.
I got to say.
House of Cards?
Billions, right?
Billions and maybe House of Cards. There's a few things he's in, but definitely Billions.
Yeah.
I love Corey Stoll. Okay, so Karen, this guy announced, by the way, I had Alan Jackson on last week, and afterwards we went for a martini he loves a Vesper martini. We had one Vesper martini, and I said, come on, seriously, when is this? He goes, imminently. We are going to go on offense. And there they did it right in the middle of the civil hearing. This Damon Seligson guy gets up, her lawyer, and says they're going to sue Massachusetts State Police. That's Proctor, that's Tully, that's Buchanan, the McAlberts, all the people. They're going to bring the McAlberts in. This is one of my favorites, Melanie. Tell me about this.
Yeah.
We would be alleging that the individuals in the House, Brian, Nicole, Jen, Matt, Higgy, all those people, maybe Colin, Albert, all the individuals in the House diverted attention away from themselves towards Mrs. Reed, that law enforcement then acting on that diverted attention collectively conspired to ensure what happened in the House was not explored or investigated. This is what an innocent person does, don't you think?
This is what we call season 3, Billy. Those of us who watched season 1 and season 2 and pre-production of both seasons as well have been waiting for season 3, and this is season 3. So she's not only suing or intends to sue or bring claims against Massachusetts State Police, Proctor, Tully, Buchanan individually, not because what they did, she's going to allege, is outside the scope of their employment, outside the color of law, by conspiring to violate her civil rights, malicious prosecution. She's going to sue Brian Albert and Nicole Albert, Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe, and Brian Higgins. Those are the only 5 that were mentioned. And what's so interesting about this is we thought maybe she was going to bring them in and point the finger at them and say, I didn't kill John O'Keefe. They did. But that's not what she's saying. She's saying those 5 people conspired to, because they were so in bed with law enforcement and friends and in law enforcement, to point Proctor, Buchanan, Tully, the Mass Police away from them.
Yeah.
Onto Karen, which is a violation of her civil rights. It's a civil conspiracy.
Oh,
and it's
sick.
that hard to prove because of all the text messages they uncovered from the feds. And they're also going to sue Canton PD for failing to secure the Sallyport garage.
Oh, the famous
tuned.
The famous Sallyport garage, where first Kelly Dever said she saw suspicious hanging out going on there.
Right.
Around with Higgy and who was the other guy? Was it
Berkowitz?
Berkowitz and
Chief
Higgy.
Berkowitz.
And then I can't remember. That was a false memory. I don't recall. And that's a totally shady operation in Sallyport. This is what an innocent person does. I always think of, look, when people settle or, I see this all the time out here in Hollywood, but they settle or they it just want to make it go away. There's too much stress. And I said, something's wrong there. If someone accuses me of something horrible, like, some type of like this or assault or something like that, I am fucking coming after you with everything.
Guns a-blazing.
Right?
Alan Jackson coming in, taking no prisoners.
I mean, this is just, they've got to be like, what have we done? I mean, the McAlberts, there goes the rest of your life because you decided to pin something horrible on this girl you thought you could roll up and send to jail.
The depositions are going to be interesting. Civil discovery rules are very broad. And so you can pretty much depose anybody, and you can pretty much, I don't know if you've ever sat for a deposition, but you can be asked anything at a deposition in a civil case. And all of the objections are preserved for the time of trial. And they're also, all of them, the McCabe's and the Alberts and Brian Higgins are going to have to hire attorneys to represent them. It's going to cost them a lot of money.
Look at
Karen
Jackie
has attorneys appointed by her insurance company, so her defense isn't costing her anything.
Jackie on the screen below says we're going to see more of Fairview. Ripped floors, red paint on garage steps. Colin, who's a different kind of special? This loose cannon's going to flip on Higgy. Oh, yeah, I did ask Alan. I said, what about Colin Albert? He's a troubled guy. He's had a past that's not so good. And, he's gotten in trouble before, and DUIs and violence. And he said, oh, yeah, yep, he's on the table. I mean,
well, they haven't named him as a party, but he can
not
certainly
named yet,
give a deposition. What did he see? What does he know?
Yeah, you can.
I don't know anything about Colin having a DUI. Do you? I didn't want to correct him, but I wasn't sure about that. I can't speak to that, so I just kind of let it go.
You can pull anyone up. What else? It's interesting. Is that standard, Melanie, to in the middle of a hearing? It's just a sort of a pre-trial introductory hearing to this, to then bring up what you're going to do on offense. That was obviously their plan, but is that instead of just defending themselves, they announced this lawsuit?
Nothing about this case is normal. Nothing about this case is usual. These cases are never televised. This is a civil, basically the way it was brought by the O'Keefes against Karen. It's a civil car accident case. It's a motor vehicle fatality. That's the case that they brought. These cases are rarely televised. Court TV was able to get a camera in there. The only person surprised by what Damon Seligson said about who they intend to sue was apparently the plaintiff's attorney. And I'm shocked that he was surprised, because he was sitting in the courtroom of Karen Reed's second trial every day. And so we've all known or suspected or hoped or, that they were going to bring in the McCabe's and the Alberts and all Proctor, Buchanan, and the police, both police departments as third-party defendants. We've been waiting for it. He seemed to be the only one surprised. And so when he made a big stink about, they didn't tell me, they didn't give me notice, there's no requirement that they give him notice. So they were just letting the judge know, listen, here's what we intend to do, to feel the judge out, get a sense for what the judge was going to do about it. And they have two avenues to pursue. They could either ask this judge to allow them to bring this case in conjunction with the case that's already existing, or if they need to bring a separate lawsuit in federal court or in state court, and then maybe, because the cases are so intertwined, they could be consolidated. Because if they're not consolidated, the McCabe's, the Alberts, all of these people are going to be deposed in the wrongful death case, the alleged car accident case, and they'd also have to give depositions in a second lawsuit. So what he's saying is, let's streamline this. Let's keep the cases together.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to have to duplicate all this work for everyone. Costs, judicial economy. So it makes sense to do it this way. Whether the judge will allow them to do it remains to be seen.
Look at this question below for you, Melanie. What is the next date in her civil trial? So they've got the hearing here. They announced what their intentions are. Where do we go?
November 21st, which is the Friday before Thanksgiving, as sort of like a dig to Alan Jackson, like, hey, pay the top dollar for your first class red eye from LAX, Mr. Jackson.
To get home. That's so mean.
Right? Because all the college kids are flying home. It's crazy. So he says he's going to decide the motion to dismiss by that time. The defense has moved to dismiss a couple of the claims in the lawsuit, the emotional distress claims that were brought by Peggy O'Keefe.
Did
Paul
that
O'Keefe,
get, is
and the
that,
niece.
that will be decided in November, whether they get to dismiss those? I know they
He will.
wanted.
He'll issue a written decision before the next conference, before 11/21. They argued that motion yesterday as well.
Oh my God. Yeah. There was no collision. You don't get to claim distress. You didn't even get to the hospital until way after you know, but these are standard things. I think she's in great shape. This is the fact that this is happening is just insane. I thought the O'Keefes would drop this. But unfortunately, they launched it before the criminal trial, acquittal verdict came in, right? So they're like, shit, we're in it already.
Yeah, and they didn't have to do that because there was still 6 months left on the statute of limitations. So when they filed this in August of 2024, I did a whole show on it. I was like, why are they doing it now? Not a smart move, because now they should have anticipated this. And if the McCabe's and the Alberts are friendly now with the O'Keefes, and that's why they didn't sue them, that may change the status of their relationship, because all of these people need to go out and get lawyers that are paid by the hour. And good legal representation is not cheap. Not cheap.
What are the chances the judges dismiss? Mary asked that a second ago.
Well, they're only asking for the certain claims to be dismissed, the emotional distress claims. And so there hasn't been any discovery yet. And so typically judges are hesitant to throw cases out based on the papers. But you never know what this judge might do.
This judge can just say nothing and be more popular.
It took everything I had not to say papers, throw it out on the papers. But it wasn't my show, so I had to, people might not get my jokes.
Then the last judge,
right,
Bev Canoni.
Yeah, he tried to explain things to the audience. I don't know if he's ever been on TV before. I don't know if the camera's ever been in his courtroom, but he was very, he was like a teacher. He was teaching the worldwide audience how things are done in civil court. It was interesting to see because we never see that.
Was it more convincing than Trump teaching America about Tylenol for pregnant women?
That I did not catch up on because I've been, very involved in Karen Reed and Turtle Boy and all the other things that are going on in Massachusetts.
You have to see this today. You have to see this. There was a press conference last night when he's saying, Tylenol, I'm going to say it right now, not good, pregnant ladies. Don't do it. Don't take the Tylenol.
That's a pretty good impression.
Oh, it's the impression of the impression. You know what I mean? The one that every sort of the fallback one.
I was looking at him the other day on Charlie Kirk's funeral for a minute. When he was speaking, he looked exactly like Daryl Hammond. And I thought, oh my God, that's crazy.
Maybe it was
Daryl used to play him on SNL. It was crazy.
Someone said earlier in the chat about Karen, she said, the word around Boston is that Higgy is going to roll. Oh, wouldn't that be good? Higgy, except for we all think it is Higgy. Like he's the roll on who, himself? I don't know.
I don't know. People have been saying that for years.
Crazy
so we'll see.
Yeah. Question for Billy from Juju Bean. Here we go. Are you still leaning towards Crazy Colin? I think that's what they mean. Yeah, oh. I do. I do think that Colin Albert is a great place to look. And Alan Jackson agreed.
It'll be interesting to see what he says at his deposition.
Oh my God, Melanie, you're the best. We've got season 3. I mean, there's just so much action. It doesn't stop rolling.
I know you did some casting for, and I did too on my channel. We took like a poll on who should play who. And now that Elizabeth Banks has been cast as Karen in a different series that Alan and Karen are not involved in, who do you think will play Jennifer McCabe? I don't know if we ever talked about
Well, first of all, I want to say that I think the Elizabeth Banks series will get dropped.
You think? Why?
I do. I think she's going to back away from it because I think the Karen series, if they can line up the right heft, which I believe they can, because it was that popular, I think, enough people are interested in this town. If they line up the right people behind it, and that's the one Karen is participating in, the other one starts to look a little stupid. And I think I have very little faith that the Elizabeth Banks series goes through.
You think David E. Kelly is going to let it go?
I do.
All right. How much do you want to bet?
Well,
put 100 on it?
Unless Karen does a movie, then they can do a mini series. Because I know we don't know that Karen's is a series. I think Karen's will likely be a movie.
Interesting.
Big movie, important people. lot of heft. And that, in that case, then there's room for the series.
Yeah.
With Banks. Yeah. So I like, you know, I was saying for Alan, I like Jason Sudeikis in the role. I just think it would be very strong for him. If not, maybe a Ben Affleck because of that neck of the woods. Ben loves that area. He would be good. I do think Amy Schumer has to be Bev Canoni no matter what. It may be a dramatic role for her.
Right.
No jokes, no funny, but she just looks like her. So
yeah. We'll see. It's definitely going to be interesting. This is definitely going to be interesting. And it's going to take forever. It takes years. I mean, the case right now is scheduled to go to trial or be done by August of 2027. And if they bring in 10 new defendants, you can kick the can down the road another year. Robert Downey Jr. was the winner in our poll to play Alan. So
he would be great. Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
I would applaud that. And oh, and what a nice compliment. You're Alan Jackson. You're like, Robert Downey Jr. is playing me.
Right.
Great. You play you, Melanie. I need you in there. You got to have the podcasting and the legal and you'll play you because you've got those chops. I can see it. You're an actress.
And you can play you.
I'll play me. I'll play me if you play you.
Let's start working behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I'd like you to come on my channel and to talk about your psilocybin journey if that's something you'd like to do because
oh, totally.
I really am so interested. I watched your show on that. I found it fascinating. It's like 9 Perfect Strangers in real life. Did you watch 9 Perfect Strangers?
Let me tell you this. My 80s, I did watch it. Absolutely. I've watched it.
So then we went on to talk a little bit about his psilocybin journey and how his 87-year-old mother wants to do it. And I thought it was really interesting. And so that was from this morning. You can go back and watch the rest of it. I think I was only on for about 20 minutes, but he didn't answer my question. Who should play Jennifer McCabe? I don't know. And I don't think they're going to drop the Elizabeth Banks miniseries, but look, he's in Hollywood. He knows more than I do, I guess. I wanted you to hear something else. Oops, not that. Let me know if you could hear this. I share this tab. Let me know if you can hear this. I just got this the other day.
The appointed prosecutor Robert Cosgrove with a prepared presentation for Turtle Dove Andy Kearney. Mr. Kearney, after being dragged out of retirement and assigned to your cases by Yellow Ken Mello, who had an axe to grind and had me over a barrel, I became willing to incarcerate you by any means necessary. For example, 4,000 pages in a motion just to be a rascal and infuriate your attorneys, Mike Bradelo and Tom Betteradle, and indict you on an obviously ridiculous T-Rex arms violation on a public way and leave Will Glera out of it, who is just as complicit. Shout out to Will Glera, by the way. I've had a change of heart recently. I would actually like to thank you a bit, and here's why. On your presentation recently, you apparently engaged with Miss Gattoni in an upside-down double reverse hucklebuck, which by doing so made her so dopey, she subsequently made a decision to sue me, among others, and by doing so created her own conflict of interest, in which will undoubtedly see me released of my duties in your case. As you know, I'm a man of advanced years, and I will now be free to go square dancing with my wife, gardening, and hopefully get that awful twisted panties out of these bathrooms here at the office. It's just terrible. As a matter of fact, we have Trooper DeChico in there now with his oversized, disgusting lips cleaning up the bathroom. But I digress. I would like to thank you for having me at your theatrical presentation, and also to all your people in attendance within tennis. Just a second, please. I'll be right back. Hello, Miss Gattoni. What can I do for you?
Continues on Thursday because I don't want to go back to jail. That would suck, especially over some bullshit lies. This shit needs to end, man. This shit needs to end. But I got a great attorney and a great defense team.
I'm not sure what you're talking
We're
about.
gonna take them down, man. I'm not going to jail. Fuck that. I already did.
Miss Gattoni,
if they send me down
this is
to jail,
improper.
I know it would be somebody's like, yeah, people would riot. People would be fucking.
Please, Miss Gattoni, this is.
When I was sent to jail for the first time, you guys didn't know about Lindsay Gattani. You didn't know her. Now you know. scary one, near them. Me, I'm the one that knocks, motherfucker. They should be a million times more scared of me than I will ever be.
Miss Tony, please.
Relentless, I feel kind of hell-bent on putting them all in prison.
Who?
That doesn't scare the shit out of you. What does? And I got a large platform to do it. And I'm fucking smart and savvy.
You have a platform?
You said that too, didn't you?
You know what, Turtle Dove? Forget all the stuff I just said. I can't get her out of here. Thanks a lot, buddy. Good luck with your cases.
So there's Kazi G. Kazi G calls into the glare sometimes, and that's Kazi G. And so Kazi G prepared this to be presented to Turtle Dove at the Wilbur show, but Kazi G had a couple of technical difficulties and couldn't get it to Auntie Deb in time. So Kazi G sent it to me and said, I don't know what to do with this, like a little while ago. And so I'm going through my emails and I'm like, where's that email? Where's that voicemail from Kazi G? Today's the perfect day to play the email from Kazi G because, of course, the news broke yesterday. What did I say today was? I don't even know. Oh, today's the 23rd. Well, here we go. Here's some news. Kazi G has the real Kazi G has actually resigned, as did this guy. This is from Turtle Boy's website. He published this yesterday. Robert Novak. This is a letter dated September 18th of 2025 to the clerk of the Norfolk Criminal Court versus the Commonwealth versus Aidan Carney. Attached, please find my motion to withdraw as counsel for the Commonwealth in the above entitled action. All right. I don't know who's here. Suze, are you here? Who's Robert Novak? Was he hired as a special prosecutor before Mello? And then he CC's Bettero, Bradel, and Cosgrove. The recording is a phony phone call. It's like the Jerky Boys, if you remember the Jerky Boys. And Lashana Tova to all of our friends who celebrate. But if you're celebrating, you're probably not listening to my show right now. So I don't know who Robert. He's the special assistant district attorney out of Fall River. I don't know. He arraigned Aidan. I knew Suze would know. Suze has all the deets. Like if you have a question, like a totally rando question, that is like something that is so far deep in the lore that nobody will know, Suze will know. Just tag her and she will happily answer you. She's always here. She knows everything. And he arraigned Aidan. Okay, so then we've got a motion to withdraw. And he says he's got a conflict. He says, well, first, okay, that was Novak. Then we've got a motion to withdraw from Cosgrove that says that he's got a conflict. A recent conflict of interest has developed which ethically precludes him from continuing to prosecute matters wherein Lindsay Gattani is an alleged victim or party. Counsel will set forth the basis of the conflict at the next hearing date for this matter, currently scheduled for tomorrow, September 24th. I've already got the show up. We're going to be here at 2:00 covering it. So where are you going to be? We're going to be here. Cosgrove now says he's got to go. He's like, Stace, I got a thing. I gotta go. I gotta go. So that's going to be interesting. 2 weeks ago, Turtle Boy goes on to say in his article, Judge Doolin allowed a motion that kicked Ken Mello off the Gattani case as well, due to the fact that he made himself a witness by answering a 3:30 a.m. phone call while he knew that Aidan Carney was at her apartment. Aidan goes on to say that leaves 0 prosecutors left for that case, which means the DA would have to assign a new special prosecutor. But Michael Marcy isn't going to be able to do that since Ms. Gattani also wrote him an extortion letter telling him he would be sued unless he gave her $50,000. And then he says, what does this mean? Simple. They have no one to prosecute my case in Norfolk County. Well, it's very interesting because over on the cesspool of Twitter, Lindsay Gattani has announced that she was told by her witness advocate, whose name is Friedman, I think Pam Friedman. Hold on, I have notes even. I even have notes. Pamela Friedman, her witness advocate, has told her that the charges against Aidan are going to be dropped. And none of you have Twitter, so I'll bring it to you. We're going to see this. Lindsay posted a wacky video yesterday. If you have not, how about this? If you have not seen the crazy video that Lindsay Gattani posted, she posted it while I was live on something else. I think it was just yesterday, right? If you've not seen this, press 1. It's like 13 minutes long. And she's telling them everything, in my opinion. She's telling us everything. It's crazy. It's like she's off the reservation. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they dropped her. I don't know if well, obviously they used her to do their dirty deeds. And now they flat left her. They're flat leavers because she was writing. It was on Sunday. Okay, it was on Sunday. Today's Tuesday. Guys, I'm really losing days. I'm starting to worry about myself. We have to put it on faster speed because she talks so slow. So wait, did I say if you haven't seen it, put a 1 in the chat? So you guys haven't seen it. Okay. So I guess we should play it. It's about 13 minutes and you can let me know what you think. I don't know what to think. I don't know. I feel like she's been flat left and I feel like she's butthurt about it. And she's now going to turn on all of them. Kate, Peter, Ken, Mello, Brian Tully, especially Brian Tully. And I find it very interesting because today she's saying that her victim witness advocates actually told her that Aiden's charges are being dropped. So I don't know if it's just her charges that are going to be dropped, but what I'd like to do, and listen, this is not like permission to completely bash her and defame her. And I'm not going to get involved in that. And you guys are better than that. Like Peggy in the chat, who was like, bashing Billy Bush. Billy Bush had me on his show this morning, so I'm not going to tolerate that. But before I could delete it, Scott did. And then there's this other whack job, feckless millennial, I call him, who apparently was on Yellow Cottage Cheese last night and suggested that they hire a hitman to take out Karen Reed. And Yellow Cottage Cheese deleted that show immediately, or whenever he deleted it. And we're going to take a look at that too. We're going to see if they're going to, persecute anybody else for witness intimidation in Massachusetts, because why would they? Yeah, it's insane. Oh, that guy, I'll tell you some more about that guy when we get to it, but just hang tight because you guys haven't seen it. So we got to find it for you. I mean, this is, I guess, where we have to start. And Cardi B's new album is called Am I the Drama? And now, Lindsay was away from Twitter, I think, for a long time. And now she's back on Twitter. And her description says, Am I the Drama? And actually, one of you sent me something that she tweeted. And she tweeted to Cardi B. She tweeted to Cardi B. So I don't know what is going on. This is not, open season. We're better than that. You guys are better than that. I know you are. So let's just be kind. This could be a person in the middle of a mental health. I don't really know, but I'm here for the information because I'm not a drama channel traditionally. I was very naive when I came on YouTube. I didn't realize there was such a thing as YouTube channels that only feed on drama and only exist to bash other people. And it's horrifying to me. But I want to watch this as some sort of information gathering for us, because this was posted on the 20th. So this was actually on Saturday night. And I've avoided covering it until now. But then today, when she announced that the charges against Aiden Carney were dropped, when I first saw this video, I thought, who talked to her? Somebody told her. Somebody told her that the charges are going to be dropped, because that was the only explanation that I could think of. And now today we found out that that's actually true. So let's put this up and try and get through it together. I might have to put it on higher speed, but it's interesting. So let's just listen and take notes. This is Lindsay Gattani posted this on Saturday afternoon. She wasn't too kind to Turtle Boy, but okay. Thomas, if you don't like it, you can go. I know you're in and out of here all the time, but this is my channel, and I'm not giving you permission to trash her in the chat, because YouTube has bots. Did anybody read the New York Post today? Nobody believed me that you couldn't say the C word in the chat, meaning the pandemic word. But today in the New York Post, it was just announced that they are remonetizing everyone who lost their channel on YouTube because they spoke out about the panty. Okay. So it's real. I don't care if you don't like it, but here we go.
Today is Saturday, September 20th, 2025. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to go about doing this. Let me first be clear that the series of video clips that I'm about to put out there, the series of...
So she says she's going to do a whole series.
The truthful state.
She's going to do a whole series of videos. So I was waiting for like number 2, and number 2 never came and still hasn't come. But today she put out something really long that may have been what she wanted to put out in number 2. And if you can't handle it, then you can't handle it. Come back in, I don't know, 8 minutes when it's over.
8 minutes that I'm about to put out there. And you can, I know everybody.
This is 1.5 speed.
Writers are going to say that I'm not going to. You just might want to listen though to what I'm about to say. But let me be clear that the series of things that I'm about to start putting out there have nothing to do with Aiden Carney, or the ones that I'm going to start putting out there are going to have no relevance, have nothing to do with Aiden Carney. They're instead going to have to do with, I have to be careful how I word things now. They're going to have to do with the,
I got to put the thing. I'll be right back.
Police officers who were involved, who should have been trusted, who I have raised my children to believe could be trusted. And this isn't about anything to do with wanting people to feel bad for me or thinking that I'm a victim or trying to switch sides or anything. Like, this is a story that I was never able to tell. This was the truth. I was never able to tell my experience that I was never able to tell because of people on both sides. And two things can be true at the same time. So I'm trying to decide how I'm going to go about this, in what format I'm going to go about this.
She knows they used her. She's figuring it out now. She's figuring it out that they totally used her as the honeypot trap or whatever they call that person, honeypot, honey trap. I don't know. They totally used her. And it sounds like she is willing, or she's ready to flip on Tully and Mello and all of them. I know I'm too old for this too, but here I am because I don't know. I don't know if she's on anything. I don't know. I have no idea. But she's got 4 kids. And she's a single mother. I think Frankie's in jail. And it's finally sinking in, and it sounds like he could be the one to blow the lid off this thing. I don't know how credible of a witness she is. Hell hath no fury and all of that. But who knows what could happen if like somebody but it's like, I understand why she put this video out, because she's like, who am I going to call? I can't call the police because the police are all working against me. And when she says more stuff today, it kind of comes into context and it's insane. She really doesn't say anything, but she put some more context into it today. So I don't know what she knows, but apparently you think it's a trap? I mean, do you think it's a trap, or do you think she's really like trying to she's going to roll over on Tully and Mello and all the people that totally used her? I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Meeting set up with people to speak about and I have to decide, do I do this on my own terms? Do I do this through a credible source? How do I do this? This is not about grifting. I am not certain people that are out there with YouTube channels trying to make people want to feel bad for them and earn $1 on this. That's not what this is about. I don't want any money.
Yeah, I think she was talking about Twisted Tragedies right there. That was like a bash of Twisted Tragedies. Lovely Flight says, should we be scared for her? After I watched this video, I didn't think she was going to make it through the night. I thought somebody was going to come and give her a hot shot or something, and she was going to be found the next morning. Like, I really thought that, I don't know, I need proof of life. I don't know. It's bizarre.
I mean, of course I need money. Like, money would be a necessity to help me deal with the civil lawsuits that are frivolous and vexatious that I have to deal with. But I'm not asking for $1. I'm offering this information because it's the truth.
I'm offering the information for free.
Sick of being figuratively held at gunpoint to keep my mouth shut. And I've been doing it for a long time.
But here's the thing. People say, Kate Peter, remember we watched that video, okay? Because we clicked on all the hyperlinks during Aiden Carney's Mega Motion reading. That took 15 hours to do because it was 3 full episodes of hyperlinks. And we love Olivia. When we went back and watched that Core TV video with Kate Peter and Lindsay and Julie Grant. I mean, it's clear that Lindsay has been like in the inner O'Keefe circle, right? And McCabe's circle. Like I don't know if she was friends with Jen McCabe. Does anybody know if she was friends with Jen McCabe? I don't know. I know Emily C says, I'm still impressed you used the word vexatious. Emily, I saw your live from this morning. I didn't get notified. First of all, now I know how everyone else feels when they don't get notifications, but I did go back and watch it, and you did an amazing job. Emily C did her first live stream this morning. It was awesome.
And so this is not about Ian Carney. I know you guys all think that my vague and ambiguous tweets have been about Ian Carney. They are not. Let's make that very clear, okay? And this is not about anything to do with, oh, she's, because I'm only repeating this because I've seen these comments like, you know, about me flipping, or I've heard, you know, or I'm fearful that I'm getting in trouble, so I'm going to turn on, or as Bettero put it, the scorched earth method, blame everyone else method. No, that's not what this is about. This is about the truth and the story that I am finally able to tell without anybody sitting beside me, like the Netflix producers, when there was a woman sitting beside me that had to be present when I spoke to them.
Wait, Lindsay, is this really you?
I don't want to be on Netflix.
See, I don't know if this is really Lindsay or not. I got a super chat from somebody who calls themselves Lindsay Gattani who says, can someone DoorDash me some wine? I totally would DoorDash you some wine, girl, because like I want to know what you know. I've been saying all along, and I know you really do watch my channel, and that's probably not you. Somebody probably changed their name to you. But I don't know who's giving you advice. I don't even know who you could talk to at this point. I don't know. You've made a lot of enemies, but is it time to do the right thing?
Let's make that very clear. I don't.
She's been in the chat before, but
yes, I may have to incorporate that into my countersuits or whatever, or my potential lawsuits, because whatever. That's not what this is about. Money has nothing to do. The truth is all that I care about. So that being said, I have to take some time to think about how I'm going to proceed going forward, in what format I want to do so, whom I trust to put this information out there with, because and this was a question that was asked of me, I believe, in court under oath, about whether I hate Ian Carney. And let's be very clear about something. To hate someone has to mean that you care about someone. I don't hate it. That's one thing I can say for certain. There are a lot of other people out there.
I'm gonna just
way more powerful than him. And
listen,
these people have been for a long time deceiving a lot of people. And I'm going to leave that at that for now.
Who's she talking about? Who is she talking about? Who's been deceiving people? Tully, Kate Peter, Jennifer McCabe, all of these other people that befriended her to completely use her. I don't know. But I feel like she's got something to say, and I'm really surprised that she's still out there today, to be honest.
Catch that. Elaborate more in the future, in the near future. But let's be clear that right now, there's no goal here, I guess, other than getting the truth out there. And finally, for the first time in the past 3 years, however long it's been, being able to tell my side, my truth, my experience, the truth that I've experienced about the people in very high positions of power.
Yeah, this is from Saturday.
Without any repercussions, because at this point they've done the damage. And I know there's every time you say, you know, that every time you say that you think things can't get worse, of course they can.
It's her kids in the background. She's got 4 kids.
Of course, they can make life much harder for me. But once I become public, and I put this information out there, it makes it a lot harder for them to do the things that they have been doing to other people. And regardless of the things that I believe Aidan Carney, I don't believe, but the things that Aidan Carney has done to me that have hurt me and my children, that I can set aside. I can compartmentalize that and put that way over there. Because right now, that doesn't matter. Right now, the truth to me matters. And the truth to me is that Aidan Carney is a blogger. Like, he's a YouTuber. He's done a lot of horrible things to me and my kids, and has collaborated with a lot of horrible people. And at this point, I'm probably accepting the fact that his charges are not going to go forward. So that being said,
she's accepted that his charges are not going to go forward. Somebody told her. I knew it. I said, I was thinking, where did she get that information? Did Tully finally respond to one of her emails and say, listen, girl, this is never happening. He's never getting prosecuted, so stop emailing me?
What do I have to lose? There are certain individuals.
I mean, what do I have to lose? I don't know. That's the person to be most afraid of, right? When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. The scariest person is the person who thinks they have nothing to lose. The victim advocate. Now we know, right?
To lose. There are certain individuals who are not going to go forward. So
Wait,
that
don't say
did
that
a lot
back.
of horrible things to me and my kids, and has collaborated with a lot of horrible people. And at this point, I'm probably accepting the fact that his charges are not going to go forward. So that being said, what do I have to lose? There are certain individuals that were determined, what I now know, were determined to take this person down. And I knew nothing of that. I knew what he had done to me and my children, and I was concerned about that. But these individuals had other motives, clearly. So, since I have now found out that these charges are likely not going forward, and the damage has been done to me and my children, irreparable harm that will never be
Yeah,
able to
so,
be undone.
so apparently somebody's been terrorizing her children. I don't know what that's all about, but she keeps talking about it. Some people in the chat must think they're in Glaire's chat, so we'll do the best we can with this. But let's keep going. Tully did this. Tully is the common denominator for everything. That's why I went with the thumbnail that I just made. He's like in the middle. He's the common denominator. He's the center of everything.
Yes, a lot of it was his fault, but the people that are supposed to be trusted by citizens of the United States, by taxpayers, by the police officers, the local police, the state police, the feds, the people that are supposed to be trusted.
Are the feds
That's where
screwing
the
over
highest
too?
accountability takes place. That's where we have to really
Everything's coming up Tully.
start
Oh,
to
I
speak
like
up.
that. That's a good t-shirt idea. Everything's coming up Tully. I love it.
And sure, call me not credible. Call me, you know, I know I've got all these people that want to say all these things about me. Not one of you knows a damn thing about my actual life. But I will tell you that you're going to be surprised when you hear what I have to say, and when you hear what has actually occurred, and actually the conversations that actually took place. And
keep in mind, this is at 1.5 speed, by the way, and it sounds normal.
I would just ask that you at least give it a listen. Just at least listen. If you hear what I have to say, and then, excuse me, 1 second. I'm sorry about that. After what you,
she edited it.
If you still want to judge me and say the horrific things you say about me, I can't stop you, freedom of speech, right? But I would ask that, sorry, I do have children. So and that's the other thing. I get very few. I have four kids that I'm raising alone. So I don't have the free time that you think that I do, but just give it a listen after you hear what I have to say. After and I'm probably going to have to do this in segments, after everything that I have said and you have heard. If you still feel the same way, great, go ahead, whatever, free speech at it. But I would ask that you at least listen and pay attention. And some things I cannot say still at the moment, because there's still things going on that I have to watch. There's still threats being made by certain individuals. There's still a lot of people in high positions of power. I still have minor children, and I'm not asking you,
people in high positions of power, threats. I still have minor children. I don't think we'd be surprised. That's the thing. I don't think we would be surprised.
Feel bad for me. I'm not asking you to portray me as, this is not what that's about. Okay. Let's make that very clear. Just listen to what I have to say. And then once you hear what I have to say in its conclusion, then make your own determination, because there is a lot that a lot of people don't know. Stay tuned.
Okay. So I don't know what to make of that, but I did not think she would make it through the weekend, to be honest. I thought somebody would get to her. I thought that was dangerous what she did. And I thought
today is Saturday, September 20th.
And then after that, there was more. So, because she kept promising she was going to do like more videos, and then there were no more videos. And so that's kind of weird, because before that, the tweet that she made before that was one that we went over, I think, on Saturday, about Bettaro's an idiot kind of tweet, right? And then somebody commented something about Kate Peter, and she said, please do not associate me with Kate Peter ever. Thank you. This has gone on far too long. So then it's like, okay, what's going on there? And then she posted like a link to like a video of some person that I've never heard of called, I don't know, Ayana Lee. I don't know. Highest to lowest 2025 soundtrack. I don't know what that is. I'm not falling for anybody's tricks. I'm bringing information, and that is it. And then here you go. Bring you this. And this was 17 hours ago, because remember that video was on Saturday. 17 hours ago. Says, so sorry for the delay of video number 2. What I can tell you right now is that yes, the blogger YouTuber is likely having his charges dropped on 9/24. Okay, that's tomorrow. We're going to be here for the hearing. So that'll be really interesting. It's going to be a good hearing tomorrow. My advocate, Pamela Friedman, who I finally was able to reach at almost 9 p.m. tonight, informed me that she was busy with holiday today, but told me that Cosgrove was likely withdrawing due to conflict. Well, we saw that he already filed papers. So that must have been before the papers hit the docket. She claims that no other prosecutor in Norfolk County District Attorney's Office will likely take the case because the Turtle Boy being involved. When pressed on it, it will likely, when pressed on if it will be transferred to another jurisdiction, she stated that they would likely have a hard time finding anyone from any jurisdiction to prosecute Aiden Carney. More to come. Okay. Tomorrow's going to be fire. I think Will DeGlaire is up there in Massachusetts. I think he went to support. And then she says, an hour later, 16 hours ago, I want to explicitly add this was not due to Grant Smith Ellis. When this retaliatory lawsuit was filed against me to try and silence me in the criminal charges, and I legally fought back rather than accept a $2 million judgment when I did nothing but tell the truth, and I was the real victim of intentional infliction of emotional distress, defamation, libel, and more. Several people with sociopathic tendencies who lied to me and pretended to be my friends then tried and succeeded to sabotage my legal fundraiser and ability to legally defend myself. These same people later wanted to complain and criticize my responses and motions. They also never tried to help me. They tried to hurt me. What's she talking about? Jennifer McCabe, Kate Peter, all of them. Let's make something very clear. If I knew or even thought for 1 second that someone who I thought was a friend, considered a best friend, trusted, and even listed as an emergency contact for my children, your emergency contact turned on her. If I thought or knew that this person was a private investigator for a shady PI firm run by a criminal and was engaging in illegal activity, I would never, ever even allow this person within 100 yards of me or my kids. I would never defend this cretin. I would never support someone so evil. She's talking about Kate Peter, right? Kate Peter was working as a private investigator for a guy named Marty Kraft, right? You guys were connecting the dots. And Marty Kraft is who? He's former MSP. Right. And Brian Albert works for Marty Kraft too, says Carrie B. The other shoe has fallen. I'll eventually tell every detail, especially since this person and her, quote, people continue to harm my family. But let's be very clear again. I repeat, I am not telling this story because I want anyone to, quote, feel bad for me, nor do I want money or want to be, quote, the hero of a documentary, unlike someone who wants to be the next Charlotte of the internet. I don't know what that means. Who's Charlotte of the internet? The only Charlotte I could think of was Charlotte's Web. Kate Peter wants to be the Charlotte of the internet. Who's the next Charlotte of the internet? Marty Kraft sounds like Marty McFly. He does. He's retired Boston PD, Marty Kraft. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Who's the Charlotte of the internet? Anyone? That's one thing I just could not put together. Charlotte takes a tumble. I don't know. Charlotte, I don't know. She means, I don't know. But apparently, Kate Peter wants to be Charlotte of the internet. And starring in a documentary. She says, and by the way, I tagged, I don't know who that is, Zora Kuttner. I don't know, because this is exactly what she plans on doing. Despite knowing exactly what her, quote, documentary hero is all about. Oh, so yeah, he's former Boston PD. He's now a private investigator, this Marty Kraft. Friends with Brian Albert and Kate Peter, allegedly, and Proctor, all allegedly work for him. Charlotte Dobre. I don't know who Charlotte Dobre is. I'm too old for that, you guys. I don't even know who that is. Okay. That goes on, TLDR. I don't receive money to post. I don't receive money, period, with the exception of the very kind souls who have donated to my illegal fundraisers. I don't get free haircuts or teeth. I don't associate with bad people who pretend to be, quote, normal moms. And I'm not some internet dweeb who runs a YouTube channel that manipulates people as an income. Well, she's going to go on to say, or she says somewhere, that Jen McCabe paid for Kate Peters' makeover, including teeth, like veneers, and a haircut. Charlotte Laws. I said Charlotte's Web too. Marty Kraft. Somebody said, Lisa says Marty Kraft was a crooked cop with Boston PD. Zora, Kirsty Nursey M says, Zora is the producer of the Netflix doc where Aiden is the villain, a Jen McCabe story. Oh, okay. Scout Finch says, Charlotte Laws is an American author, anti-revenge activist, and former politician. Good Charlotte. She's good Charlotte. I don't care what you think about me. I'm just here to share the truth / the juice, because this person and her people have ruined enough innocent lives, including the ones she pretends to be advocating or working for. Yes, the witnesses who have been harassed relentlessly throughout the Karen Reed trials, who've done nothing but cooperate with law enforcement. Their lives have been ruined. She's been on every platform that will have her. Kate Peter, I'm talking about. And then she says, but be prepared. There's some things that are going to shock you. I don't think so. Nothing would shock me at this point. She's talking about Jen there, you guys are saying. You're going to have some serious cognizance dissonance. Okay, she means cognitive dissonance. Lindsay's coming back in with the $2 super chats. Listen, Linz. She says, I don't need money. Just a hairbrush. I highly recommend the Dyson Airwrap. It's changed my life. Scout says Charlotte Laws. She gained significant public attention for her campaign to take down the website Is Anyone Up, run by Hunter Moore, who was dubbed the most hated man on the internet. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Thank you, Scout Finch. That's a great question. Is Boston Mass 781 says, who on earth would hire Kraft, Proctor, Albert, Peter to private investigate for them? Well, I mean, apparently the Norfolk County DA's office did. The very people you thought were arch nemesis, in quotes, are maybe not exactly that. You'll eventually find out that these very people have made deals with each other to keep one another relevant because the content would, quote, skyrocket and the money would go through the roof. If you look at why this certain person's charges have continued to just disappear, you'll start to see the light. Well, that's Kate Peter, whose charges keep disappearing, right? Am I picking up what she's laying down? She says, I'll explain more soon. And trust me, I will come with receipts. I know better now. And if I'm threatened again, if my children and I are harmed again, and the general public can mostly ignore this because I'm really speaking to more individualized people, if you keep on with your games, Donna or Troll or whoever else, whichever one of you who came at me when I never even opened my mouth about you in the slightest, but you believed your leader's lies, I will put out all the truth, and I mean everything. And trust me, I know what information you tagged to see who you could trust. Apparently, not many within your own group. Y'all sold each other out real damn quick. You already ruined the lives of my innocent children. You used your moles to collect private information, took pictures of my very young children in their bathing suits and sent them to predators. You exposed my entire life. Yes, I know who you partnered with. Who? Who? I don't think she's talking about Aiden. I have another idea. But you don't know what I have saved, nor who I have partnered with. Tully? I haven't said a word about any of you. Again, I'm addressing a specific person and her people. Okay, so we know that's Kate Peter. That's not hard to figure out. And you have made a brazen choice now by harming my children. I won't return the favor. However, I will advocate for the truth. Okay, that was 16 hours ago. And then this was the video from last night. And Lindsay posted, thank you to the new girl, Margaret, who wasn't advised in advance on what questions she was forbidden from asking live. Oh, no, this has to do with
anything new.
Wait, is this from last night? Is this the video from Yellow Cottage Cheese from last night? Or is this a different video? Because Kate's on it. This woman, Margaret McLean, It's a Crime Media. This is a feckless millennial. He calls himself Boundless Millennial on the TikTok. And this is Yellow Cottage Cheese. So I don't know if this was from last night or not, but this is a 1-minute clip that she says has to do with Kate talking, somebody asking Kate about the feds. Here, listen to this.
Anything new on the federal government, Kate?
I mean,
you've dug up?
Well,
That's Kate Peter, for those
Revolve,
you don't know.
I'm Karen Reed.
As far as like what happened, no. I mean, that's the thing is like, you kind of, it's hard. It's a veil that's hard to pierce. I'll put it that way. And so at this point, I think that, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background that I really don't think that anyone would appreciate if I was talking about in public right now. But, it's a process to try to pry information out of the federal government. It's more of a process when perhaps there's been some misconduct, as we're kind of assuming here. And
last night, okay,
certainly the reaction to certain things would, support that anyway, right? At this point. And then, there's some other, I don't think I can even say anything. I will say that I feel.
Is that the couch? Is that the infamous couch?
Hopeful about Foley's administration.
Okay. So, Pierogi Cacciatore says that Margaret woman is buddies with DePipi as a recurring guest spot, meaning DePietro, on Core TV. All right. She has a channel too. I had no idea. Okay. I'm learning a lot of things that I never really wanted to know. But she says the tweet that followed that clip, I guess it's like, got to go up and backwards, says, gee golly, I think she meant to say golly gee. I wonder why Kevin deleted this stream from YouTube. Too bad he forgot to delete from Twitter too. Wah, wah. Luckily, I caught it in time for him to get it back. Luckily, I caught it in time for him to get it back for the world to see. I knew I was valuable for something. Thank you to the new girl, Margaret, who wasn't advised in advance on what questions she was forbidden from asking live. Then she says that Kate Peter, I wonder why she sent me a random thumbs up on a text from weeks ago, right after Turtle Boy posted about Cosgrove withdrawing, after she told people she made a deal with him so both of their charges would go away and they could both be in the Netflix documentary, because she wants people to think his charges were dropped because of me or Grant. I have no idea. Is she claiming that Kate Peter and Aiden are working together? Yeah, I don't really think that's happening. That could be part of this delusion. But then apparently she's got text messages from Kate Peter that say, in the library parking lot, let me know when you get here and I'll walk in with you. No one's outside. Lindsay says, okay. And then Kate says, oh, MG, I think I just ran smack dab into Mary, LOL. And then she says, stop. Really? And then Kate says, the pay parking isn't working. And some lady was trying to get to work. A car pulled up and I think it was Mary. I don't know who Mary is. Do you guys know who Mary is? And I don't know what the, like, we have to try and decipher what this is. Hyperlink. Hyperlinked. The hyperlink says, Maxwell, you better be singing in the FBI if you're not ready, girl. Otherwise, you're going to go down with the whole bunch. Ricola. I mean, did you think this could get more exciting? Because, I mean, I kind of thought we knew where this was going. And this is like the plot twist that I was not expecting. Mafia Mansell, thanks for texting me another thumbs up after you effed with my family and made your deal to get Aiden's charges dropped for your lead role in the Netflix documentary. Remember when he went to jail and you said you missed him because it was boring without someone to torment? I do. She's got all the receipts. She's got all the receipts. And I think it's the McCabe's and the Alberts that are working with Netflix on their documentary, right? Mary was the one that was threatened. Mary Bagwell, that's right. The woman that Lindsay threatened to kill her and her kids. Right. And then, oh, this is a good one, though. She's got receipts on this. Okay. And this is something that could be helpful to Aiden's case, to Mac Betterow. She says, you people are not very smart. Firstly, all of Kate's moles on their sock accounts outing themselves this morning. Classic. Number two, the conflict was created by your precious leader when he decided to sue me. Cosgrove was always going to be deposed as a witness, whether he was added as a third-party defendant or not, because he was the one, according to what Detective Haldeman told me, who handed over the SA report, which, by the way, are not public record and was still an active investigation, to Bradel during another discovery dump. So apparently she's saying Cosgrove is the one who gave over her grape report, which I have questions about, because Tully has to look at her phone and then she showed him and then he found these videos and he was like, oh, that looks like grape to me. And then she didn't want to do anything about it. And then eventually they wrote up a report like a long time later, right? She's saying that Cosgrove is the one who turned that over to Bradel during a discovery dump. That's what it sounds like. SA reports are never public record, even if the investigation had been closed. It was not redacted in any way, shape, or form either. I couldn't even get a copy of my own report because of the law. So neither I nor Grant Smith Ellis, who I don't know what he has to do with anything, created the conflict or got the charges dropped. Norfolk County DA's office and Kate Peter and her people clearly just tried to prevent sabotaging my legal fundraiser with the pretend Gaffney donation and ensuing drama. I don't know what that means. And very much tried to advise me, see prior Gaffney videos, to roll over and take a $2 million default judgment. So I guess what they were telling her was, Aiden sued you, don't do anything about it, just default. Don't answer, don't hire a lawyer. Just let him get a $2 million default judgment against you. And that's what happens if you're sued and you just ignore it. The person who sues you can get a default judgment against you, which means they automatically win. She says that's what they advised her to do. And I think this guy Gaffney is a lawyer, but I'm not sure. Regardless, it seems that Norfolk County District Attorney's Office never intended on seeing the charges with Carney through to the end anyway. How were they ever going to explain why messages of Tully's and only the responses from Kate Peter were missing? All of my messages to her were still there after a certain date. That was Tully. Tully doctored evidence. Tully proctored evidence. Maybe Proctor learned from Tully. Maybe Tully trained Proctor to proctor the evidence. Do you think this gives Karen Reed's third-party complaint against Tully a little more legs? I do. How are they ever going to explain why all of the Google Drive links were deleted They played both versions of the audio at the grand jury, so they should have both versions somewhere. And then, they couldn't explain. But also ask yourself why all the ramblings about Kate Peter continued in letters, but neither Bradel or Betterow ever once asked for an evidentiary hearing with her. Well, I don't think that's true. I think they've asked for one many times. Why did they ask for an evidentiary hearing? I don't think that they've specified who they want to testify, but Betterow has said a million times with me that she needs to get up on this, that Kate Peter needs to be questioned on the stand. So that's not true. Why did Carney start polling his audience months and months ago, trying to gauge if people would still be fans if he made a deal? Why around the same exact time did he suddenly not only stop attending Kate Peter's hearings when he and Lauren Murray had never missed a single one ever before, but he also completely stopped even speaking about her charges, period. And one by one, they just magically disappeared, just as she told everyone they would. Well, I think she told everyone her charges would disappear because that's what she was promised when she made her bed with Tully and Mello. I don't think it has anything to do with Aiden, but here we go. These are receipts from Lindsay's email, okay? And a Dropbox link in which Kate Peters sent her those videos. And then when you go to click on the Dropbox link, it says this item was deleted. It says here, wait, let me stop it. Oop, oop, oop. I don't know how this works. Hang on. This is an email forwarded from Kate Peter to Lindsay, dated January 3rd of 2024. Subject: full recording video submitted to court unedited to Mello and Tully. mellolaw@msn.com and Tully's mass.gov email. And it says, yep, he certainly did wiretap her. The video was recording the whole time from his pocket. This is without the edits, raw video sent to several people now via a private YouTube link. Here's a folder with a download of that video. So she sent the recording to Lindsay. And then when you go to click on the Dropbox, she deleted everything. Remember the mega motion. In the mega motion, they're blaming it on Tully and Mello. They say Tully would never click on any links that were unsolicited. This was sent to Mello and Tully, and now it's been deleted. Who deleted it? Kate Peter. And then Kate Peters goes on to say, and I've attached the previous wiretaps, which appear to be phone conversations, sent out as well. So both these files are still hosted on his Turtle Boy Live YouTube channel, but have been accessed restricted via Google. If one were to log into his account and then blah, 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 she clicks on the link and then she shows everyone that it says deleted, deleted, deleted. Remember, when Aiden first played that audio recording of the craziness that went on with Lindsay at her house, I can't unhear it. Like, I've heard it and I can't unhear it. It's so horrifically chilling. But he says, I'm recording you at the beginning. And I know that because I've heard it. And you know that because you've heard it. And apparently it's alleged that Kate Peter cut out that part where he says, you know, I'm recording this, right? And she's got all the receipts on it. And then she goes on to say, I mean, this just doesn't end. This is interesting because she tells the whole story. She's telling us everything. She's telling us everything about how she got involved with them. Listen, if you believe it, I don't know what to believe anymore because I don't even know what's real anymore. 5 hours ago, she posted, when I began speaking to Kate, she said she thought I had information about the Karen Reed Turtle Boy stuff that was very important. She told me she was going to run it by Ken Mello and just see what he thought. I was eventually given his number, and when I spoke with him, he asked if I'd be willing to speak with his investigator. I told him I was nervous about getting involved, and he said, Lindsay, if you just speak to him, just have a conversation, tell him what you know. Then if you decide you don't want to move forward, you have my word, I will not force you to. I naively and stupidly believed that nonsense. Oh. I'm like, Nurse Kim, oh. Then he sent Brian Tully to my home in December 2023 with Ken Mello's PI, Nelson. There were some things that stood out to me. Tully's biggest concern was if I knew the target of the federal investigation. When I told him I had been told it was Morrissey, he and Nelson looked at each other at the same exact time, eyes widened, and slightly smiled as if they were relieved or satisfied. When I first read this, I thought, oh, Tully was relieved that the target was not him because he knows he's had his hands in everything. Everything comes back to Tully. I had a conversation after they left and repeated this exact observation and discussed how I thought it was strange. Another strange thing is that my interview was not recorded like Natalie's. Why? They flew all the way to California to meet with Natalie. I said that, not Lindsay. And then Lindsay says, also strange, why was Natalie allowed to hire a company to remove private information from her phone prior to her phone extraction? Also strange was the fact that Tully seemed very concerned about what I had heard about him, telling me something like, I'm sure you think all these things about me and probably hate me. It was odd because Tully didn't mean anything to me, period, at that point. I was indifferent and not sure why he would even care or mention that. He ended the interview by telling me that he thought I had some very helpful information and discussed me potentially testifying before a grand jury. I told him that Ken Mello said they were just there to have a conversation. No one said anything about a grand jury. He then brought up getting some of the information from my phone. He said it couldn't be given via printing the text out. It had to be an extraction, even though apparently it was later okay for him to print out his own communications. Well, it was okay for Higgins to print out his communications. Remember that? He went to visit his buddy Matt Kelch at the FBI, and Matt Kelch taught him how to use the kiosk. So Brian Higgins printed out all the text messages between himself and Karen Reed and then turned them over when he went to meet with Proctor and Tully. And also text messages with John O'Keefe, and he handed those all over to Tully and Proctor as well. And then Lindsay goes on to say, when Brian Tully showed up to my home the second time, okay, so one time he went was earlier in December 2023. This time unannounced, again with Nelson in tow. He first sat down and began to tell me about Carney's court date earlier that day. He bizarrely, somebody's going to put all the pieces together for us, and it's going to be great because I don't know what court dates he had in December of 2023, but it was that day. He bizarrely said, do you know that Mike Gianetti's girlfriend was sitting in the front row to support him? All right, somebody help me. Who's Mike Gianetti? Lindsay says, I was so weirded out for so many reasons. Number one, I have never met Mike Gianetti in my life. At that time, I had only ever spoken to him on the phone one time when Grace, the perjurious babysitter, said she was friends with him and his family and thought it would be funny to call him. And I spoke to him for maybe 10 minutes while he tried to convince me that Carney was a woman. Gianni is the man. I don't know. I got confused here. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lisa. I will never use the term off the reservation again. It just came out. Please look into it. I'll look into it. Thank you. Michael Gianetti. Okay, and Lemonine is here. And Lemonine is here with the details. Michael Gianetti, rumored to have been arrested in West Roxbury after admitting to letting women OD on his prescription pills as per Turtle Boy. Okay. All right. So Mike Gianetti's girlfriend was there, apparently. But Tully is telling Lindsay this. Why? I have no idea. To try and make her jealous or something? Were they still dating at the time? Or, I mean, not dating. They were never dating, but it was more like a booty call kind of situation. After the phone call, Grace proceeded to tell me this weird story about Gianetti and said his girlfriend is his former girlfriend's daughter or something very odd. I don't know the girl. And that fateful phone call that Grace thought would be funny resulted in Gianetti for months to come calling me occasionally and claiming Carney had hacked his phones and accounts. I still haven't met him to this day, nor do I know anyone he associates with. So why was Brian Tully telling me this as if I would care? He couldn't have known that I had just spoken to Gianetti for the first time ever just days before, right? Well, he could have if they wiretapped you. So just a really weird coincidence that he brought up this guy's name. And why was he telling me who was or wasn't at the hearing anyway? He then asked me if I had put any more thought into testifying. Remember, it was presented to me as if I had a choice in the beginning. I told him I was not going to testify or give my phone because it would just cause more problems in my life. And they already had all the same information I told them from Natalie. He said, we had a feeling you'd say that, and pulled out the subpoena. Oh. Oh. She didn't want to cooperate with them or give her phone up, and he pulled out a subpoena? Oh. Yeah. She's telling us everything. I don't know if we believe her, but she says, Carney was not set up. Correlation does not equal causation. Carney was not set up by anyone, not Kate, not Telly, not me, not anyone. No one took him away from his kids and mother except for himself, period. Well, I disagree with that because they served him with they served you, Lindsay, with a fake grand jury subpoena for a grand jury that did not exist because the one to indict him was already concluded. And the one that they indicted him on for you had not yet been convened because the alleged crime had not yet occurred. So yeah, that is called a setup. You might not, get it because you were used in that setup. So they knew how to push his buttons, and they knew to push his buttons, all they had to do was serve you with that fake grand jury subpoena, and you would call him up and you would get him over there, and somehow something would happen, and then he would violate his bail conditions, and then he could get thrown in jail. And that's exactly what did happen. But then she says, I can yell from the rooftops about Kate being a covert narcissist or Tully being a corrupt liar, but it doesn't change the facts. Okay, so she's calling Tully a corrupt liar and Kate Peter a covert narcissist. So there's that. But hang on, because there's more. That's not, I don't know if she is anymore, but. And then she said, this is not me backpedaling. This is me speaking out about my whatever. And that was only 2 hours ago. So here's what happened last night on the Yellow Cottage Cheese channel. I think Aiden put this out, right? Hang on. This is that guy. What is his real name again? Boundless Millennial. He had like an entire series of videos about me being a grifter and a liar and the world's worst attorney. Like in the beginning, when all that stuff was going on, that made me never engage on Twitter again because I just don't have time for it. But here's what he said last night on the Yellow Cottage Cheese channel, which is Yellow Cottage Tales. All right, here's the this is what they were apparently they were like doing a recap of Karen Reed's civil hearing, and this is what he said. I won't even play his content because it's disgusting, and he's been doing this for years. Here we go.
I think that
Oh wait. Okay.
the lawyer did a really good job explaining, the case high level, and she looked a little uncomfortable. I just don't know, like how he's explaining how long it's going to drag out. I'm like, are they really even going to get a benefit over time? How much are they paying for their lawyer? I mean, I think they should just hire a hitman, to be honest.
I'm sorry, what?
I think that the lawyer did a really.
I'm sorry, what? I think they should just hire a hitman. Oh, well, is that witness intimidation? Is anybody going to prosecute that guy on that? This is like, he's been doing this for years to everyone. If he's made a video about you, you know what I'm talking about. This is what he said after the verdict. Okay. Listen to this. Apparently he lives in Florida. I think. I don't even know.
I know.
It's
I
going to
hope
get
Peg
worse.
runs her over with a car right now. That would be the perfect ending.
I hope Peg
It's
runs
going
her
to
I hope
get
over.
Peg
worse.
runs her over with a car right now.
I hope Peg runs her over with a car right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? Hello? Yeah. And Aiden, when he put the video out of this guy, Boundless Millennial, I call him Feckless Millennial, saying they should just put a hit out on Karen. Aiden's tweet says that Plevin, or Our Vault is his name, I guess, on Twitter, has admitted that he deleted the stream he did last night from his YouTube channel because his regular guest, Matthew Darty, aka Boundless Millennial on TikTok, suggested that the O'Keefe family should hire a hitman to murder Karen Read in order to avoid paying a lawyer to sue her. Karen is a material witness subject to deposition in her ongoing legal matters. Mr. Darty last night made the suggestion that she be murdered in order to interfere with and obstruct the current lawsuit. This is perhaps the most egregious form of witness intimidation possible, and if I were Karen Read, I would be demanding he be charged immediately. It's noteworthy that Plevin, who claims to value civility, did nothing to admonish Mr. Darty. He says he only took the video off of YouTube and not his other social media accounts because he didn't want to risk losing advertising revenue via demonetization. I mean, they would bury Turtle Boy if he said that. Yeah. I'm dying to hear what you guys think. No Love for Traveling Trooper says karma's about to come to Earth. LOL. Pam, thanks for gifting 5. You're very generous. Welcome, new members. Llama Pajama says feeling sick in bed. Thanks for the awesome company. Oh, thank you. I hope you feel better. Dexter Save Us from the Commonwealth has gifted a membership. Sometimes we have to put Dexter up in the corner. Sometimes there's Dexter. Sometimes there's Michael Proctor. Sometimes there's Michael Proctor's Glow Down, which is this picture. Sometimes we have Guzma, because remember the Guzma coma score. We found out that Guzma is actually a Pokemon character. And so Hank Brennan outed himself as a Pokemon fan when he called it the Guzma coma score. And boy, did he shout back at Dr. La Posada, yes, I know about the Glasgow coma score, but I want to know about the Guzma coma score. And then sometimes we have Chaka from Land of the Lost, because we really are in the Land of the Lost. And then there's Little Debbie's shut the fuck up cakes for many reasons, but most of all for people who need it. Thanks, Kathy, for becoming a new member. Help me, Rhonda says, I hear the ice cream truck. It's going down the road feeling bad. Hey, Grateful Dead references are always welcome here, always. Don't want to be treated this little way. Feels so great for the sunshine to be exposed. Everything. Thanks, Melanie. Thank you. Help me, Rhonda, for the Grateful Dead quote of the day. And also, 320. No Love for the Traveling Trooper says, I may need to change my name to Poverty Trooper. Vanessa says, oh, that rascal Cosgrove. Ha, 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 ha. That was Kazi G coming in hot. If we don't laugh, we're just going to keep crying. Lizzie says, Tony Collette for Jen McCabe. Oh, yeah. Tony Collette plays every horror movie ever. And I love Toni Collette. But I don't know if I could ever look at her the same again if she played Jen McCabe, because I do really like her a lot. Toni Collette, that is. Edwina Grimley says, yay, I got a live finally. I had to go back to work, so I always get the replays instead. I want merch. Meet me at the sidebar. That's my suggestion. Thank you, Edwina. I don't know if you saw our new tour shirts. We've got new tour shirts with all the sayings on the back. Pierce said we knew someone would spill eventually. I'm here for it. Jen's dog, Jonah, says, became a member. Thank you. Josh said Mega Motion broke her brain. She read the facts. Maybe. Thanks for your super chat, Josh, and for always being here. Under Your Scars says, is she the same person in Feed the Ducks? LOL, you guys had such a blast at Wilbur. I enjoyed from afar in Ontario. Neighbor over the river, Free Turtle Boy. Thank you for tuning in from Canada to Free Turtle Boy. Steve said she's not drunk. She's dumb. I could be wrong. I don't know. Listen, she could be medicated. I'm not really sure. But she didn't seem like hammered or anything. I mean, I did speed it up. But I mean, did anybody ever watch like intervention, like the reality show or like some of those shows. Like, it seemed like a mild form of whatever. Didn't seem like she was really far out there, right? Gigi's ice cream truck says, Gigi's ice cream truck is filled with silver bracelets. And she says, my ice cream truck does not get a winter vacation, even in Massachusetts. So much for Cancun. Guess I will just have to wear my Melanie shirt. Oh, thanks, Gigi. Fancy Nancy 84 says, can the judge deny them suing the McAlberts, etc.? They're going to get sued one way or another. It's just a matter of the method. It's a matter of the method. So hang on one second. And I explained this in great length at yesterday during the hearing. After the hearing yesterday, we watched it in full without me interrupting because so many people get mad when I interrupt. And then we watched it again, the parts that I wanted to go over with you, and I stopped it and explained it to you. In case you missed the hearing yesterday, Karen Reed's civil attorney, the lead attorney is Damon Seligson. Alan Jackson came in, but he told Billy Bush, and I forget who else interviewed him, that he's not a civil litigator. This is not his wheelhouse. He's going to take a back seat to the lead attorney, who's Damon Seligson, who is hired by Karen Reed's insurance company, so she doesn't have to pay. Number one. Mr. Seligson said, Your Honor, the judge said, are there any procedural things we need to talk about? And Seligson said, yes, Your Honor, we are going to add, or we're going to ask the court permission to add by motion 10 new parties. We want to bring in the Massachusetts State Police, Michael Proctor, Brian Tully, and Yuri Buchanan personally. And the causes of action against them are going to be what I later learned was malicious prosecution, civil rights violations. And then he said, we also want to bring in Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, Matt McCabe, Jennifer McCabe, and Brian Higgins, because they all conspired together to divert attention away from themselves to get the police to focus on Karen Reed, because they are both police and police adjacent. And also, we want to sue the town of Canton via its police department for negligently failing to secure the Sally Port. And if you read between there, what they're trying to say is because Canton PD negligently failed to secure the Sally Port, Kelly Dever testified, well, she backpedaled on it because she had a false memory, that she remembers Higgins and Berkowitz going into the Sally Port while Karen's car was there for a wildly long time, which, if you read between the lines, their argument is going to be because it was failed to be secured, somebody was able to get in there, smash that taillight, and then have the taillight pieces to go sprinkle at the scene. So Seligson is saying, Your Honor, we could file a separate lawsuit against all of these people, but because everything arises from the same set of facts, what we'd like to do is just third party them into this case and then do all the discovery on one track and have everything all together. And so the judge can say, well, no, I don't want you to do that. But then what they will do is just file a separate lawsuit, either in state or federal court, because it seems to me that Damon Seligson never said the words 1983. A 1983 action is a title of the United States Code, which may mean that it would have to be filed in federal court. But what it seemed like to me is the violation of civil rights that they were talking about at this point is malicious prosecution, forcing her to defend herself in 2 trials against an unfair prosecution that was clearly stacked against her from the start, and like false charges that had no merit because they didn't investigate anybody else, or the fact that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car, because we know, because we watched 2 full trials and we've read all the documents, we've listened to all the testimony and science, medicine, injuries. John O'Keefe was not hit by a car. Car did not hit John O'Keefe. So the judge can say, yes, you can't bring them into this case, but they can still file another lawsuit. So regardless of what the judge says, they're still going to be sued. Thank you for asking. And somebody pretending to be Lindsay Gattani. Kay Willis is here. She's a realtor. She gifted 5. Thank you very much. Steve says, do the prudent thing. Talk to Bradel or Betterow. No, she can't. There's a conflict. They can't speak to her. She's a defendant in Aiden's case. So they would not be allowed to speak to Lindsay would not be allowed to speak to them, or they would not be allowed to speak to Lindsay. I don't know what she's planning. I don't know if she's spiraling. I don't know if this is a cry for help, or if this is all fake, or if, oh, the Rangers scored. Thank you. Thanks, Beth Lewis. I will always allow a Rangers goal. Maura Tierney for Jen McCabe. Oh, that's an interesting choice. Otter Space. So they can't talk to her. KLM says, I read her replies to people today, and she does say quite a bit. Called out Jen McCabe paying for things for Kate Peter too. Oh, that's interesting. Kelly's back with another 20 and says, I guess the loss of self-respect and self-dignity has absolutely no meaning for her. Well, look, listen, what did Bob Dylan say? Famously, when you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. Right? So I don't know what to think. D says, if LJ knows something about real people in power, I want to hear it. Turtle Boy did nothing to her except expose her lies. Thanks, Steve, for your 20. And then Lindsay Catani is back with another deuce. I miss Fridge Daddy. She says, I don't even want to know what that means. Somebody tried to tell me what it means, and I was like, no, stop. Can never get that visual out of my head. Stop. News Now, Lipsia became a new member. Welcome. Hyperlinked to the hyperlink says, hi, Melanie, in chat question. If the cases with Lindsay are going to be dismissed, why would Cosgrove need to withdraw? Just dismiss and move it on. No, well, because he doesn't have the power to dismiss them. Cosgrove is a specially hired prosecutor, hired by the Norfolk DA's office and paid by the Norfolk DA's office to prosecute only Aiden Carney. So he doesn't have that power. But that's an excellent question. Thank you for your 10. Lindsay says, I don't need money, just a hairbrush. Thanks, Lindsay. Lindsay, don't spend all your money here tonight. And Lemonade says, gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. It was really nice to meet you at the Wilbur or at the after party. I think it was the after party, right? I don't remember if it was in the venue or after at the casino. Lindsay Bay says she may mean charlatan, Melanie. Who knows at this point? I don't know. It was all Greek to me. I was trying to get you guys to explain it to me. Haschick says Sid and Marty Croft produced Land of the Lost. Oh, that's interesting. That guy's name is Marty Croft. He's a PI. And Sid and Marty Croft. All right. I mean, things are starting to be pieced together. All of these things, all of these receipts are very helpful to Aiden's case anyway. It shows that Lindsay had those links. I mean, News says, hello. And Derek Carney is here, and he became a new member. Welcome, Derek. We love Derek. He did the How Dare You song that we used to play during Karen Reed's second trial. Grandma of 6, Denise says, I Googled Charlotte's of the web. I received the answer, Jen McCabe. Well done. Sue says, Boundless Millennial swatted Aiden a few years ago. He's dangerous. Oh, he's made a lot of videos about me. I was so naive coming over here. I didn't know that there were people who just did that, like, for fun. Like, that was their whole shtick. That's their only content, is just trashing people. Justice by Wetero says, if her conspiracy theory were true, it would be the most expensive content Aiden ever produced. She needs help, not public attention. Thank you for your 5. Gray Space says, proctoring the evidence, tullying the evidence. Well done. Proctoring and tullying the evidence. Gray Space gets full credit for that. Thanks for your 5. Derek Carney says, Turtle Boy suffers from the same malady that I am afflicted with. We're both weirdo magnets. If a weirdo is nearby, they find us. Stay mighty. I mean, one of the things that I did not put on the back of the tour shirt, one of the quotes was, it's the bitches that'll get you. Because I have said that before. Watch out. Sorry, Derek, that happened to you. Netwoman says, I'm behind. I thought Marty Kraft was the maker of the Land of the Lost Chaka. Well, apparently that's true too. But he's also a former Boston PD turned private investigator. Yeah, we are positive people and not nasty. That's why I would never even, it was hard for me to wrap my brain around, you know? I came into the YouTubes through like Duty Ron, like people with honor and Ed Wallace, people with honor and integrity, you know, first responders from 9/11. And just, I had no idea that this little corner of the internet existed. And like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's like, get me out. Derek Carney says, I go on Brain Dead Minimum's YouTube channel and stick up for you and let him have it. Hate him. Grrr. Thank you very much for sticking up for me, but I just ignore him. The Goodmans are here. They gifted 5 memberships. Thanks, Goodmans. Is it date night for you guys tonight? And Boston Girl 79, Charissa gifted a membership too. Lots of new members being gifted tonight. Susan Parkinson and Scout Finch both became members. Check out the emojis. We have special emojis, mostly for this trial. Quinn says, get these women a drink because they are so thirsty. Thanks, Quinn. Amora Valesi says, I personally love when you stop trials and explain. I know, but I felt like yesterday, I felt like I knew it wasn't going to be a long hearing. And so I wanted to let it play through once, and then I could gather my thoughts and then go. And all the people that wanted to leave after it was played through once could just leave. And then we could go back and talk about it. Because it was so good. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Charissa gifted another membership. Thanks, Charissa. Steve F says, when the articulate Colin Albert testified, he referred to Steve Nelson from Norfolk DA's office as the witless victim advocate. Yes, but wait a second. Lindsay said the PI's name that came with Tully was named Nelson, but we know that Steve Nelson was a victim witness advocate. Is this a different Nelson PI? That they went to talk to, that Tully took to talk to Lindsay? Is that a different Nelson? I don't know. Catherine Smith became a YouTube member. Welcome, Catherine. Maureen says, just because, great show tonight. Thanks, Maureen. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about. That's why the title just said, well, because sometimes we don't need a topic. We're just going to talk about what's on your mind and all this stuff and what's going to happen at Aiden's hearing tomorrow. I have another show planned for tomorrow morning on the Long Island serial killer. There's been a couple of decisions that just came out on the Rex Sherman case. So I'm going to do that in the morning. Then we're going to pivot at 1:45 to cover Aiden's hearing in the afternoon. Edwina says, this is the perfect storm of all the players playing shady who are now all turning on each other. Never trust a liar. They're all lying. So they have lots to lose. Yeah, maybe he was her advocate, but she said her witness advocate is somebody else, Pamela Friedman. And Pamela Friedman is the one who told her that her charges for Aiden are going to be dismissed. Somebody tell me, Susan, I know you're here. What charges for Lindsay are still remaining? They never got him on the wiretapping. The assault charges were dismissed, right? Or they were never brought. Is it witness intimidation against Lindsay? Is that the only remaining charge? I'm so confused. Jason Bateman as AJ. That's a good one. Thank you, Edwina. I know everyone's a liar, but so you don't know who to believe. Everybody's got credibility issues. Every single person has credibility issues. Mrs. Smith said, or Ms. Smith, in my opinion, the only person to play Jen is Lena Headey, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones. It's witness intimidation? But what was she witness to? No charges remaining. Wiretapping, witness intimidation, and assault and battery. But so then what charges are going to be dismissed? Witness intimidation and wiretapping. But I thought he was never indicted on the wiretapping. I'm so confused. There's too many charges to keep track of. Texas Prime, we coming. Sco Buffs, we coming. Let's go. We won a game the other night. Yay. You were right again, Melanie. The walls are tumbling, and Karma took note of all the addresses. Kelsey did not have a hearing today, Megan. That was it's been adjourned. They have a lot to put together for Kelsey Fitzsimmons' next hearing, so she still remains in jail. Final Fantasy Steve says, I don't know if my kids saw it, and I can't ask. Turtle Boy. Oh, that was about whether his kids saw him get arrested from the bus. Thank you. Catherine says, who needs Netflix when we have all this? And Karen Reed, this is mind-blowing. What's going on up in Massachusetts? Can't make it up. I'm calling it Massachusetts from now on because it fits. I'm saving so much money from not going to the movie theater. Are there any movies out? October 7th is the next hearing for Kelsey. Wait, that's not good for me. Isn't there another hearing that day? October 7th? Hold on a second. Let me check the calendar. It doesn't matter because they're not gonna broadcast that probate hearing anyway. Oh, that's the Walsh final pretrial conference. And also somebody's birthday. You know, my Libra friends. So that Walsh final pretrial conference is going to be interesting. And that will be televised. Okay. I don't even know if there's any good movies out right now. Chelsea became a new member. Welcome. No love for the traveling trooper. Gifted a membership. Thank you. That's very sweet. You guys are so generous. Technical out says always bringing the hot news. We love you. It says weird dudes over here on my forehead. Oh my God. Do you follow Bethany Frankel? She's got like the best. She's so funny. I find her so funny, but she's got all the best takes on dating at her age, and it's really funny. She's really funny. Thank you, Technical Out. Ms. Jules from Florida says, when the walls come tumbling down, when the walls come tumbling. We made a Spotify playlist for the Karen Reed trial. During both trials, we kept adding to it. It's in the show notes below this video, and it is currently, let's see, how many songs we have on that Spotify playlist. It has 1,558 saves. Doesn't say how many songs are on it, but I think it's something like over 14 hours of music. It's called the Karen Retrial mixtape. And somebody said they were listening to it the other day on like a 5-hour road trip and with friends who also followed the trial and trying to remember why each song was added to the playlist because they're so good. And I think it's song lyrics, and so do you. Thank you, Miss Jules from Florida, very much for your 20. Technical Out says, it's me, Piney Woods. You changed your name, Piney Woods. You changed your name. I mean, what do we do with this? What do we do with this? Where do we go with this? And what's going to happen next? Like, we just can't even make it up. Maureen became a new member. Welcome, Maureen. I mean, so if Lindsay says that they told her that the charges are going to be dropped against her, but are all the charges going to be dropped? Because who's going to prosecute him? Who's left? There's nobody left. Cosgrove isn't going to have to be taken away on all of his cases, in my opinion. And so what's going to happen next? Dana says Elizabeth Banks people never contacted Karen Reed's people for information or permission. They don't have to. They don't have to. So I don't think that's what Billy Bush meant when he said that he thought that Elizabeth Banks was going to drop it because, oh, Rangers 3, Bruins 1. Sorry, guys, but I'm a Ranger fan, as you know. She's a public figure. They don't have to. Think about how many documentaries are made about people without their permission or consent or without them participating. Happens all the time, right? Texas Prime Week coming. Thanks for your 20. Says hello. Gorgeous, said Billy Bush. Love it. And you are. Thank you. The reason they started the rumor about you and AJ, I mean, they would not have said he went with Kate Peter. No one would believe that. Thank you. Thanks for your 20. Buzzing for Truth has been here for 20 months. Wow. No, gee. Hi, Melanie. Catching you always eventful. My always eventful live. Well, you never know what's going to happen, right? We don't even need guests. We can just talk amongst ourselves, and it's always fun. Justice by Wetero says, petition to add All Along the Watchtower to the Turtle Boy playlist seems fitting now, right? Well, we didn't even start making a playlist for him, should we? Holly became a member. Welcome, Holly. All right, let's see. Got some notes for you, because you know. So apparently, Aiden Carney, Turtle Boy, wrote an episode. He wrote a presentation. He wrote an article about this guy Marty Kraft, all the way back in August of 2024. But hold on, I got to put it on reader mode. And it says, it's Can't Cover Up Part 389. Sources say disgraced former Boston cop Marty Kraft reportedly hired Brian Albert, possibly Michael Proctor, at private investigation company with ties to Michael Morrissey. Oh, well, I mean, the family tree roots of Canton and Norfolk County are very deep and very twisted, as I always say. All right, well, I mean, we might as well show his picture, right? Because we need to know who Lindsay's talking about. Apparently, that's him. Marty Kraft. This is Marty Kraft. Oh. Okay. According to multiple sources, disgraced Boston cop. This is Aiden's article. Disgraced Boston Police Sergeant Brian Albert, whose house John O'Keefe was inside of when he was beaten unconscious, has been hired as a private investigator by another disgraced former Boston cop with a long record of his own. This is Marty Kraft. Well, Lindsay says she's got all the dirt about this, so I mean, I kind of want to know what she's got to say. Oh, thanks, Kyle. I did. You know what, Kyle? Thank you for sending that again because I did see it. And then I was like, I know I got something on this. Where did I get it from? Who gave it to me? Where is it? I lost it. So hang on, because Kyle Sharkey is always in the chat and he always has receipts. And he said, and remember this. Oh, hang on. Remember when they were talking about the Taint team and the people that they recommended for the Taint team? Steve Verino. And remember, he was on another Taint team. Well, what was Steve Verino on the Taint team for already? Something having to do with Karen Reed. It was the same Taint team that was suggested. Here it is. Here it is. Well, you know why? Because Kyle comes with receipts. This was an order, I think, in Karen Reed. Hang on. Let me see. Yeah, Stephen Verino of MWV, Multi-Forensic Investigative Services, shall be the appointed forensic examiner. Retired District Court Judge Joseph Macy shall be the special master. Wait, special master? That just sounds like 50 Shades of Grayish. It's just weird to me. Okay, wait, was this? So I don't know what document this is, Kyle. This was for Aiden's phones? Okay. Wait, various devices of Aiden's phones were seized pursuant to separate warrants as part of the same investigative team that generated the warrant before this. This is Cosgrove's motion. This is Cosgrove's motion to now appoint a Taint team for Karen Reed's phones that he's had since 2024. That's what it is. Okay. It says here at the bottom, because we just read this motion very recently. That's why I'm like, this sounds very familiar to me. By agreement of the parties, in order this court, Mr. Verino serves as appointed forensic examiner and Judge Macy as special master in the pending case of Commonwealth v. Aiden Carney. So that Verino and retired Joseph Macy, Olivia, like today. Can you send it to me? Oh, she did. Okay. Various electronic devices of Carney's, including cell phones, were seized pursuant to separate warrants as part of the same investigation that generated the warrant before the court pertaining to Ms. Reed. So there was just a motion made very recently by Cosgrove, which I didn't understand why Cosgrove could possibly make a motion to appoint a Taint team in Karen Reed's phones that they've had since 2024 when he wasn't hired to prosecute Karen Reed, or was he? So here's Stephen Verino's LinkedIn page. He's with MWV Multimedia Forensic Investigative Services out of Fall River. And then this is a Secretary of State document, okay? This is the official filing with the Secretary of State for Massachusetts. And this is for a nonprofit corporation named, wait, hang on a second. Let me pull it up a better way. This is the Licensed Private Detective Association of Massachusetts. Marty Kraft is the president and Stephen Verano is the treasurer. Follow the money, like I always say. Follow the money. Licensed Private Detectives Association of Massachusetts. Marty Kraft is in bed with. Because you can't make it up. You can't. Even if you wanted to make it up, you couldn't. Marty Kraft is the president. I don't know why it does this. I got it if I don't download it. And Steve Verano is the treasurer. You're going to have to trust me on this. There it is. There's the connection. It's the tainted taint team. Now I got to check out Olivia's post. Now I want to know the secretary, Joseph D. Simone, vice president, Mark Riley, director, Joseph Mangiacotti, and the director is Sean Burke. And this was filed when? Let's see. Well, their term expires in 2026. So there's that. When was this corporation filed? In 1994. They've been in business for a long time. Marty Kraft and Verano. Because you can't make it up. And Olivia Lambeau, our amazing hyperlink queen, posted this all the way back in January of 2025. The appointed forensic examiner, AFE, assigned with a special master as the taint team designated to go through journalist Aidan Carney's devices, apparently just hosted a seminar with Jessica Hyde. Wow. Wow. This is in January of 2025. Hyde is the digital forensic expert witness hired by DA Michael Morrissey's office to try to defend Jen McCabe's incriminating 2:27 a.m. Google search in the Karen Reed case, the same case Carney is being charged with allegedly intimidating witnesses in. If you do choose to engage on Twitter and you don't follow at Olivia Lambeau, what are you doing? She's got everything, all the receipts. She's the queen of the hyperlink. According to the order, retaint team review procedure, Stephen Verano of MWV Multimedia Forensic Investigative Services, Inc., shall serve as the appointed forensic examiner. Okay, wait a second. Hold on. My brain is bursting out of my head. So according to Lindsay Gattani, Kate Peter works for Marty Kraft. Marty Kraft is in business with Steve Verano, and Steve Verano is the taint team hired to examine Aidan Carney's phones. You can't make this up. You cannot make it up. You can't. And then he just had a seminar with Jessica Hyde back in January of 2025. It's so incestuous. Everyone's related. It's disgusting. It's a real taint team. And this is the taint team that they just asked for to look at Karen Reed's phone that they've had since 2024. Wow. Did they think nobody was going to find out? Olivia posted this in January of 2025. And Cosgrove didn't do his due diligence again. And he's asking again for this guy to be the taint team. The tainted taint team. Wow. The designated AFE, Stephen Verano, assigned to be a part of the taint team to go through Carney's devices, was just recently thanking Jessica Hyde for a workshop she led at his seminar, hosted by the High Technology Crime Investigation Association. Well, they're high, all right. New England chapter on December 9th of 2024. The court's order regarding the taint team review procedures states, the special master and the AFE shall not be involved in any way in the investigation or prosecution of defendant Aidan Timothy Carney, and subject to section E2 of this order shall have no formal or informal contact about this case with any police officer, forensic examiner, other than the AFE or assistant district attorney without prior court approval. Wow. Tainted love. According to the Massachusetts Digital Evidence Guide from the Office of the Attorney General, March 2023 version, the taint team is a group of attorneys or agents employed by a government office who have not at any time been involved in the investigation and or prosecution of the defendants. And it will not be assigned to any such investigation or prosecution in the future, who sort the defendant's communications into privileged and unprivileged so that the latter group may be investigated by the government without eroding a defendant's attorney-client privilege. I mean, you just can't. You just can't. Mazza is here. Hey, Mazza, what up? And says so many people are about to write checks, lose jobs, or go to jail. It's just, I don't even know if they have a big enough jail. I mean, how many, what's the capacity of the Norfolk County Pokey? I mean, Brian Walsh has taken up a bed. I guess Harry Turk has been moved because he was convicted. How many beds do they have at the Norfolk County Pokey? These are things I need to know. Any COs in the chat from Norfolk County Pokey? We know LC the barber got transferred. He left. He had the $5 haircuts. We called them, looks like somebody got their hair cut with a hammer. And then we found out it was LC. I didn't realize LC was, Aiden said that when he was in there, LC gave $5 haircuts. I thought LC was like a barber that came to the jail, but LC was an inmate. And that explains the hammer haircuts of Harry Turk and Brian Walsh. How many beds do they have? Says Cap. How many beds do they have? And how many beds are empty right now? I don't know if they have a big enough jail for all these people. It's like apples to apples. Anybody ever play apples to apples with their kids? It's like, how about them apples? As a reminder, this is back to Olivia's tweet from January 2025, because she knows everything and predicts everything. The crafty, tainted taint team, says Kelly. As a reminder, the development comes after nearly 14 plus months of ongoing pretrial litigation whereby DA Michael Morrissey's office has withheld and slow walked discovery with apparently no concern or consideration for abiding by their Rule 14 obligations. Rules for thee, but not for me. All of this comes after it was recently revealed through defense filings, the Betero letters, that not only has DA Michael Morrissey's office and its conflicted SPDU investigative unit already gone through Carney's cell phone, despite the court ordering the use of a taint team, but they then continue to lie in court to both the judge and the defense for nearly a year after engaging in this egregious misconduct by claiming that they hadn't. The very fact that they continue to lie about it and make material misrepresentations to the court is evidence of their consciousness of guilt. There's 502 beds at the Norfolk County Pokey? Really, James? That seems like a lot. I mean, that's just the county lockup where you wait until, maybe that's, I don't know. It seems like it's a lot more than I thought. Let's put it that way. So maybe there are beds available. Maybe there's beds available. You got to wait for a bed. Maybe there are beds, lots of beds available. Plenty of beds available. The very fact that they continue to lie about it, consciously ago, they knew it was wrong, hence why they continued to lie about their wrongdoing for a year. The only reason it ever came to light is thanks to a brave whistleblower who disclosed this exculpatory information to the defense. I hardly suspect the DA's office was planning on ever being forthcoming with this information, given they already had nearly 12 months to do so, but instead chose to apparently continue lying about it. With this backdrop, the use of a taint team seems almost like a formality at this point. And this was all the way back in January. This is almost a year ago. Does anyone really have, it was 9 months ago. Does anybody really have any faith that the DA's office hasn't already gone through Carney's other devices too? Why would anyone have any faith in them being honest about that? After all, the only way the defense and the public learned that they'd lied about going through one of Carney's devices was via an unrelated, independent, third-party whistleblower, not because the DA's office ever disclosed this information. Yep. And she always comes with receipts, Olivia does. And so Jessica Hyde posting, had an amazing day at HTCIA New England chapter. Thank you to the awesome team for having me visit to deliver a workshop. Third-party parsing, nothing better than training. And I guess this is Verano. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, because Verano, this must be like LinkedIn, reposted Jessica Hyde's post. Says we had a great seminar yesterday in Worcester. Thank you to Brian Basiglia of Worcester PD for arranging the facility, and a huge thank you to Jessica Hyde for a great workshop. I mean, come on. You can't even make this up. Christina, I think I know now why you keep getting blocked. Guide your actions accordingly. And here's the order for the tank team. And there it is, appointing Stephen Verano in the Aiden Carney case. You can't make this up. You just can't. Yeah, Mary Ellen says, can you imagine how many cases have been involved in this? Scott, she's asked me to unblock her like 5 times, like literally at least 5 times. Can you imagine how many cases have been involved in this, says Mary Ellen? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of can. I kind of can. Every single prisoner who is involved, who is incarcerated currently, who's been convicted based on anything involving the team of Stephen Verano needs to, be calling their lawyer right about now. I mean, and he's on LinkedIn, posting this stuff. And she's telling them everything, Kelly. She's telling them everything. Artiros Kinnan says, for t-shirt, you cannot make this up. We're back to the land of the lost. We are. Block Island, the land of the lost. Law Nerd is here. Are depositions public? No. In Karen Reed's civil case, does the public get access to them? No. Not unless they are attached, as an exhibit to something. Typically, they are not released to the public. I have heard Aiden say that because Grant Smith Ellis is supposed to be deposed in his case on the 30th of September, he said he's going to release the transcript, but typically attorneys don't. And so, no. But that's an excellent question. Max says, well, we need to make room for this new crew. Well, there's over 500 beds. I mean, that's bigger than I thought. And we're kind of back where we started. And it's, are you surprised? Beach Rando, I started this earlier, says, Karen Reed might be able to get the Alberts homeowners insurance involved. Nope. You know why? I'll tell you why. They got 2 problems. They got a notice problem. They didn't give notice of this claim to their carrier, number 1. Number 2, she's alleging a conspiracy charge, a civil conspiracy among all of the people that were in the house. And that wouldn't be covered by any type of insurance, not homeowners. And I said this yesterday too. I said, if something happened around the pool, if John O'Keefe fell, smacked his head on the hard concrete patio around the pool in their backyard and smashed his head open, and then Chloe was outside taking a leak and attacked his arm, that could have been an accident that would have been covered by homeowners insurance. It absolutely would have. And, they would have reported it and it would have been covered. But they got a notice problem. It's been almost 4 years. It's been almost 4 years. Oh, that's awesome. And they've never notified their carrier, and no carrier is going to defend them now. They'll completely disclaim, not to mention what they're being sued for or what they will be sued for. It would not be covered by any kind of insurance, in my opinion. So that was an excellent point, but I wanted to clarify. Judge O'Shea has been said to be fair, so there's that, says prosecute. Here's what I found wild also about Judge O'Shea. He said yesterday during the hearing he might have to break the hearing because he had a jury out on a homicide case. That's wild to me because I practiced law in New York for, as you know, over 3 decades. And here in New York, our judges are elected, not appointed, but our judges are elected to a specific court: criminal court, family court, probate court, civil court. Okay. So you will never in New York have a judge who is currently sitting on a wrongful death car accident case, because at the end of the day, that's the way they filed it, a fatality, and a murder trial on the same day. It just doesn't happen here. That's wild to me. And he did say something like he was specially assigned to the case. And I don't know what that means. But is anybody like Plymouth, Superior, local? If anybody works in the courthouse or you have really you really know the information, email me because I'm curious. Like all those judges like try murder cases and then 5 minutes later they're doing a car accident case. Like that makes no sense to me. So I don't get it. He's skilled in both, says Jackson's Nickel. Discussed today. Who discussed it? Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. He's skilled in both. But here, our judges only hear one kind of case. They don't dip their toe in all kinds of cases. Libby says it's wild to me that the judges rotate like that. Jackson's Nickel. I don't know who you discussed it with, but thank you for letting me know. But still, again, it would never happen here. It's like you're a criminal court judge or you're a civil court judge and never the twain shall meet. So I find that to be crazy. Like maybe a judge here would hear like personal injury cases and maybe a contract case here and there thrown in or some other kind of civil litigation, but never would be trying a murder case and then hearing a car accident case. I thought that was bizarre. And What's Up said, or what up? And the judge seemed a little anxious to make them put a court date from March to April, kept saying, oh, I'm available March and April. You know, you're going to have to wait years. Yeah, it was weird. And then at the end, he tried to convince them to go to mediation or try and settle the case. And I don't know. I don't think Karen would ever settle. But again, the carrier has the option to settle. The only policies that I'm aware of that require consent from the insured to settle are doctors' malpractice policies. And so when you sue a doctor, those cases often go all the way because the doctors don't want that on their record. They don't want to consent to settle because then it'll be on their record. But like if you're auto carrier, if you're sued because you're in a car accident or your kid is in a car accident and you get sued, your auto carrier can settle the case without even really asking you. But in this case, I think she's heavily involved. So I don't know. Amor Avalese said, when you said what's going to happen next, what are we going to do with this? Kramer in my head echoed, and why are they so small? Seinfeld references are always welcome here. I can always think of a Seinfeld quote for almost every occasion. Who are these people? Who are these people? Reasonable AF. Oh, what a treat this is. So glad to catch you. I'm so glad that you're here. Are you kidding? And you've been here for 9 months. Mary Ellen, welcome. And Ken Harford, welcome. And Josh H coming back in with a hot 5 says the Commonwealth wants to download Karen's phone so they could give the data to the O'Keefes for the civil suit is my bet. But why is Cosgrove making that motion? Was Cosgrove hired like on the QT behind the Sallyport garage in a backdoor deal to prosecute Karen Read? Like it makes no sense to me. I have no idea. I'm very confused. Decline says, love you, Melanie, for all the truth you have brought to me and talking me off the ledge for over a year now. Thank you and love you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching. I think at least some of the charges are going to be dropped against Aiden tomorrow. And I think, here's what I also think. Because think about this. Witness intimidation charges remaining against Aiden Carney, in addition to the Lindsay Gattani charges. The other alleged victims are all of the people that Karen Read is going to third party or sue directly in her case. Well, Procter and Buchanan those charges have been dismissed for Aiden. Matt McCabe, Jen McCabe, are Brian and Nicole Albert, they have charges against Aiden? Chris Albert, Colin Albert, Julie Albert, Juliana Nagel, all the same people, right? they try Aiden Carney's case, they're all going to have to get up on the stand and swear to tell the truth. They're all going to have to be deposed in the civil action that Karen's bringing against them. That's a lot of testimony to keep straight. And how many times can Jen McCabe say, well, if you have it, show it to me? Are they going to are now Jen McCabe, who seems to be the puppeteer behind everything? She's like that, pulling all the marionette strings behind there. Do you think she's now going to call off? She's going to be like, you better, in one of her frantic messages to Marcy, to his bat phone, say, you need to drop all these, instead of saying, you need to jail him already. You need to incarcerate him already. She's not suing Colin, right? She's not suing Colin. Correct. Thanks for correcting me. I was just trying to list all the people who still have charges against or alleged victims of Aiden. Colin's definitely going to be deposed in the civil case. And he is an alleged victim of Aiden Carney because he was scared of him and got his feelings hurt. So is Jennifer McCabe now behind the scenes, instead of saying, when are you going to put him in jail? When are you going to do something? Do something. Is she now going to say, you better drop those charges against him? Because I got enough to worry about. I got to go hire. I got to get Reddington on retainer again. And I don't think that Jennifer and Matt McCabe can have the same attorney. So they're going to have to hire 2 attorneys. Brian and Nicole, I don't know what their status is. I heard he moved to Maine or something. I don't know. Or was that Higgins? I'm so confused. But I mean, isn't it ironic, don't you think? A little too ironic that the one guy that they've been trying to shut up since 23, so a little over 2 years, is going to be the guy to blow the doors off this thing. You guys who live in Norfolk County, you know how many decades this corruption's been going on for. You tell me, you write to me. Elisa says, oh yeah, don't even care why you're on. Just you're on. What a treat. Thank you. Thank you for your 20. I did Billy Bush this morning. It was such a beautiful day outside too. I was like, oh, I wanted to go over to the Ryder Cup because it's a practice round today and it's right here at Bethpage Black. And then I was like, oh, it's going to be crazy because, the Ryder Cup of all the golf tournaments is like the rowdiest one because, all you Europeans come over here and drink all day. No, I'm just kidding. My Irish friends and Scottish friends, you know how much I love you. And then I just did it. And then I just actually went in the pool. My pool is still open. It was hot. It was like 80 degrees today. And I was so happy I did, but now I'm exhausted. Diane gifted 5 memberships. Oh, you guys are so generous tonight. And no love for the traveling trooper says, you can't make this up. I feel like there's so many people here. We should do another giveaway tonight. Do you want to do a giveaway? Oh, Law 2's most hated mod says, my brother is working the Ryder Cup tomorrow. I love going to the practice rounds of any golf tournament because that is when the players will sign things and take pictures. I don't care about them signing anything. I just want pictures. Oh my God. I have some crazy pictures. I should find them and put them up one day. I met Phil Mickelson. I have a picture with Phil. That was like amazing. I really want to meet Freddie Couples because he was always my favorite. I love Freddie Couples so much. Never got a picture with Freddie Couples though. I did get a picture with Phil Mickelson and a bunch of other golfers that are really funny. Who's the guy with the mullet? Charlie Hoffman. Oh my God, Charlie Hoffman. I think his caddy thought I was stalking him. And it was really kind of a joke because he used to have this like really crazy mullet back in the day. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? Charlie Hoffman, the golfer. And at every like golf out, like nobody ever wanted to like meet Charlie Hoffman. So I would just always be there trying to meet him. And I think it was a joke. It was really a joke. And then I think his caddy thought that I was like stalking him. It was crazy. You can't make this up. You're right. Thanks. I'm on it. Kelly says, I'm on it. Kelly, Crafty, Tainted, Taint Team. She changed her name. Kelly, Crafty, Tainted, Taint Team. She's been here for 11 months. You guys change your usernames. Becky Einhorn says, over my loud objection, my pool was closed Labor Day weekend. I'm a native New Englander, never before Halloween. Girl, I keep it open because it makes me sad when I have to look at the cover. And so I know that it can still get hot in September and October. And so I'm just like, I tell the guys, just to like put me the last on the list. I'll be last on the list and a first to open. I want it open in April. I want it swimmable by Memorial Day. And usually in the beginning of May, it's hot enough. Usually. Hold on. MC says, look at her replies, please. You won't regret it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You going to make me do it? Hang on. Oh, no. Sir Thomas just posted something, a clip from like tonight's show. Man, you guys are on this. Who the F is Charlotte of the internet? We all want to know, Lindsay. Wait, did Lindsay reply to that? Oh my God, she did reply to it. Maybe that really is her in the chat. All right. Thank you, M. Thank you, M. Let's go there. We're going to have to do it, you guys. We're doing the Lord's work, okay? I'm doing the Lord's work for you so that you don't have to, so that you do not have to go on there on the cesspool, Twitter. And so here's what Thomas, who's on it, posted this. Hold on. And here's me from this stream. Continue to harm my family. But let's be very clear again. I repeat, I am not telling this story because I want anyone to, quote, feel bad for me, nor do I want money or want to be, quote, the hero of a documentary, unlike someone who wants to be the next Charlotte of the internet. I don't know what that means. Who's Charlotte of the internet? The only Charlotte that I could think of was Charlotte's Web. Kate Peter wants to be the Charlotte of the internet. Who's the next Charlotte of the internet? Okay, so Thomas T, thanks for watching. I mean, not Thomas T, Sir Thomas A. Wade said, I rarely clip and share stuff from Melanie Little because I assume most of y'all saw it already, but this almost took me out. Who the F is Charlotte of the internet? We want to know. And tags Lindsay Gattani. And then Lindsay replies to this and says, no problem. Oh, wait, hold on. Lindsay says, watch The Most Hated Man on the Internet on Netflix, and you will see, in short, she was portrayed as the hero of the documentary who helped save her daughter and also countless other women from some creep. And then Sir Thomas Wade said, thank you so much. I'll definitely check it out. And then she said, no problem. It's actually a really good documentary, so it will give you some reference, but I think you'll also probably enjoy it. Well, first of all, the fact that Lindsay Gattani is not saying something mean about me says a lot, because she's really trashed me a lot, because she thought that she at one point thought or was being told that I was a Twitter account called Not Haley Walbrecht or Not Haley Walbrecht. And this Haley Walbrecht, who we now know is Jason Broyles, was threatening to release all of Lindsay's private documents and information. And so Lindsay really came for me. And I was like, yo, I didn't even know who she was at the time. And I was like, I am not this Haley Walbrecht person. Just because like I posted a picture of 2 purple drinks once on my Instagram, and this Haley also posted a picture of like 2 purple drinks somewhere else. It was wild. That was a nice exchange. And then, hold on. M said we got to go for more. So we're going to have to go for more. I'm just here for you doing the Lord's work. So, all right. Aunt Bev's dissatisfaction 2 hours ago said, didn't we see the infamous Leah Janduso text where she brags about her great idea? AKA make Lindsay. That's her initials, FV. People call her that. And then Lindsay says, again, dumb, you don't make someone a witness. This isn't Game of Thrones. Someone can be a witness even if they're just aware of information. No one needed to make me a witness for witness intimidation to occur. I already was one because I had already provided information to the police. I was scared of retaliation and told her that I probably wouldn't cooperate because of my fear. And she tried to calm my fears by telling me that she had just thought of something, had an aha moment. He can't do anything to you or harass you or post private info or pictures because you'll be a witness and he would be charged with another crime if he did, so he wouldn't dare. She clearly didn't know the statute and understand I already was one by law and didn't need to cooperate further to be considered one. And everyone naively thought that this person would abide by the law after already getting multiple witness intimidation charges. This isn't some Lee Harvey Oswald conspiracy BS. You want to believe it is. Sorry to burst your bubble. And then I don't know what that is. Then again, who is Donna? Oh, we do want to know who Donna is. Donna knows who Donna is. And no, I'm not referring to the sweet woman from Jersey. Okay, that's 2 hours ago. You people are not very smart. Okay, so that was that. One about the deleted things. Most talkative says, if you knew the charges would never be seen through, why didn't you speak up 2 years ago? But instead of talked stuff and run cover for 2 years. And then Lindsay says, obviously, I didn't know that 2 years ago, bird brain, run cover. What is wrong with you? That was 3 hours ago. And then when she apologized 19 hours ago this is getting interesting. For the delay of video number 2, when she said that, yes, Aiden's going to have his charges dropped tomorrow. Twisted Tragedies wrote something back. Something to Virgil. Lindsay is right before her. They couldn't. Anyone who would take it. No attorneys wanted their families smeared and harassed or their practice. Nobody wanted to deal with Aiden because he was willing to lie to hurt people. See if you can call a lawyer. No, so wait, are these two now on the same side? I can't keep up with this. I can't keep up with this. Ask any victim of his who has searched for lawyers. People don't want to deal with the attacks. And Lindsay's thanking Twisted Tragedies, but he's one of Kate's lackeys from the private Discord. Oh, yeah, there was something about a private Discord in here. He's just gaslighting. He was in the group when everyone was talking about their frustrations with not being able to find a replacement when Mello got sick and why they could only get Mello in the first place. He's just been instructed by their master to do what they do. I don't know what any of this means. I just want to know about the couch, Lindsay. Somebody said, please just spill the couch tea. And then Lindsay said, I don't know about the couch. I don't know about the couch. I know I was kicked out of their secret Discord last December because I told Grant about Jen paying for Kate's makeover and haircut and clothes. I was then given a warning about who I could or could not speak to. Oh, by Jen McCabe. Oh. Next day, I was locked out and the smear campaign began online, followed by the fake dono to my legal fundraiser and sabotaging it. But yeah, she's saying that Jen McCabe paid for Kate Peters' makeover, haircut, and clothes, and something about teeth. I mean, I gotta just tell you guys that you can go there if you want. I feel like I'm in 8th grade again too. I know. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know. Thanks, Em. Call me Alice because I just fall in the rabbit hole again and again and again. Venus Blue Trial Bunny says, if you sue and you win, do you get taxed? Personal injury settlements are one of the only forms of income that are not taxable. They're not taxable, personal injury settlements or winnings or, like a jury verdict. Certain parts of it are. So I shouldn't say that. Pain and suffering verdicts or settlements are not taxable. But if you there are some things that can be like lost wages and things like that, depending on the state. I'm more of a lessee. Well done. But for the most part, personal injury settlements are not taxable. And then she says, we are so damn lucky to have you as we go down so many roads. Oh, that's a great Grateful Dead song too. I love that. So many roads. We are safe if we don't drink the water. So that's Grateful Dead and Dave Matthews in one comment. Girl, are you my sister from another mister? I think you're my soulmate. Mitzi Lucia says, asking if Auntie Deb can make a visual board with all of these characters. Oh, to see the red yarn connecting them all. Yeah. Kat Randall, thanks for gifting a membership, my dear. Catherine says, presuming Karen wins the suit, is it a monetary amount she wins or jail? No, it is civil court. And the only thing that you can recover in civil court is money. Money. Unless you're doing something like you're looking for an injunction for somebody to stop somebody from doing something, that's different. But personal injury cases, wrongful death cases, the only thing we can give you, plaintiff, is money. We can't turn the clock back. We can't make your life better. We can't undo the thing that you say happened to you. The only thing that you can get is money. There's no jail because Karen's been acquitted and John O'Keefe was not hit by a car and a car did not hit John O'Keefe. And yes, Quinn, it is ironic, don't you think? The whole thing is ironic. And Alanis also says, Ms. Jules from Florida reminds us, you ought to know. And also something else Karen Reed said in one of her interviews was, does it bother you that Paul O'Keefe is always staring at you? And she said, no, I see right through him. That's when that song went on the list. That one on the playlist. Right through you. Another Alanis Morissette song. Tell my kids now who are into Alanis now. I tried to get them to listen to Alanis like their whole lives. I'm like, you don't understand. She was like the original. She was like the original angry woman. She was like the original, Billie Eilish or, whoever's the angry girl now. She was the original. She's the first one that got out there and started screaming about how bad men were. And you ought to know, but also right through you, right? Love her. She's still rocking it, by the way. Sham Wow is here from Canada, says Mr. Seligson must watch your show. Did you hear him say papers? What would the dynamic of the lawyer fees be for Karen Reed by having all this put into one trial? Seems like a win for her. Yeah. Also, all of the discovery that would have to be done, because here's the thing, and the judge should really consider this. If the judge does not allow this to proceed altogether as one case or consolidate the cases after another lawsuit is filed, Jennifer McCabe can be deposed twice. All of these people will be deposed twice. Depositions are expensive, especially when you bring in like a videographer. If you want a video deposition, you got to pay for the transcript. You got to pay for the court reporter's time. You got to pay for the videographer. And depositions are going to go on for days and days and days. Nothing is cheap about this kind of a case. And so everything in one trial, it would also streamline the discovery. Or otherwise, all of these people are going to have to testify twice because they're all going to be witnesses, even if they're not parties. It really kind of helps everybody. But yeah, it's a great question. Em says, all right, that's it. Mel, invite her on the show. Who, Lindsay? Is she here in the chat? Minch Kim became a new member. I don't think I would have her on the show because people would want me to exploit her. And that's like that's just not my vibe. And that's not like what I would do, you know? And so I don't know if I could get on board with that, but I don't know. And I'm not even saying that she would. Oh, is Aiden starting his show? I'll teleport you guys. Oh, actually, I'm teleporting you to my tomorrow hearing, but not that. Lindsay says, whoa, and the plot thickens. Should we send her a hairbrush? Well, listen, she's got 4 kids. Look, I at one time had 3 kids under 3. I have 5 altogether. Like, I get it. I just can't even with that person, but I don't know. Cindy Wigglesworth said she gifted 10 memberships. She's awesome. And says, yay, made a live stream. Love you with all my heart. Thanks, Angie. Grandma of 6, Denise, says we sure got more on a Tuesday night than expected. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about tonight. And here we are. And we've been talking for a long time because I forget what time I even went live. 6:30? It's been 2.5 hours just flew by like that. I didn't even have a topic. Heather Holmes says, thanks for your insight and snark. Love it here. Thank you. And look at, this is random. Gifted 10 memberships. You're amazing. Boston Girl, is anyone going to support Aiden tomorrow? Thank you. This is random. That was super, super, super nice. Is anyone going? Tell me if you're going. Let's do a giveaway real quick. The merch link is in the show notes, but we're going to do a giveaway right now. We're going to give away one of the brand new tour shirts. All right. You can just type any comment in the chat if you want to be considered to win, if you want to be included to win. If you win, and only if you win, you have to be willing to send me your name, address, and phone number so that I can ship your shirt to you. I'm going to show you, in case you have not seen the amazing new merch, what it looks like. You guys had the great idea to make a tour shirt, like an old-fashioned like concert shirt. And so I did. I got on Canva and I did it. I did all the things and I'm telling you everything. And I want to show you what it looks like because I think you're going to like it if you haven't seen it yet. All right, here it is. So we're going to give one away because that's what we do. I'm a giver. Here it is. Here's my spread shop, my merch shop. And the new shirt is right. Check this out. You too can get the 2025 tour shirt. There it is. Attorney Melanie Little XOXO tour of 2025. And it says, join the Snark Tank. And then on the back, It's got all of our sayings of all the things that we have said. It's called the Set List. And it's got God Save Us from the Commonwealth. It's got Call Me Alice, Show Me the Papers, The World is Watching, followed by Grave Concerns. Talk amongst yourselves. There was no collision. Buy the tickets, pin it on the girl, under her eye. She's telling them everything. We're not buying what you're selling. And it goes on and on and on. Hyperlink me. That one was for Olivia specifically. And then at the end, it's got 2 encores. We Ain't Got No Quit, followed by I Love You With All of My Heart. And there are other products that have that. And there's the front. Join the Snark Tank. It's my tour shirt for 2025 because, it just needed to be there. There's other products that also have the design on it. And so you too can get you one of those. I guess $35. I don't know. I don't make a lot of money on the merch. And so I just kind of give it away because it's like a third party vendor and all. So they do it. I don't have to deal with it. Thank you, Monica, so very much. Said you had questions about the judge. Thanks for your Venmo. Watch Ted Daniels stream, 25 minutes, informative. Loved meeting you last Friday. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. It's not that I don't like links in the chat. YouTube doesn't allow links to come in the chat. And also YouTube does not allow links in the comments. So if you ever want to link something to me, you can send me an email. My email's in the show notes. I do not respond to all of them, but I absolutely read them all. So I do. Robert, thank you for your super generous Venmo, who says just for being you. Oh, thanks, Robert. That's awesome. I love you with all of my heart. If any of you, a lot of you have been unsubbed by YouTube. Make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure your notifications are set. If you are being hidden, that is also happening. People are being hidden by YouTube. You need to send me an email with a link to your YouTube page, to your YouTube channel, a link. Do not send me a screenshot. Do not tell me what your username is. None of that helps me. I can't do anything. I need a link. It's got to be done by my phone. I have to do it on my phone. I don't know why. It's a YouTube thing. But let's go here. Only 523 people have entered to win. 525. All you got to do is type something in the chat. That's all you got to do. If you're going to support Aiden tomorrow, I think Will is going to be there because he said that. This civil case sounds hella confusing, says Quinn. It's really not. It's really not. But it is what we've all been waiting for because we wanted, and I've been saying since I started covering the civil case in August of 2024, that I couldn't wait for them to bring in the McCabe's and the Alberts, and that then all of the O'Keefes were going to be really mad at them because they thought they were friends, and now they're getting sued and they're going to have to pay for lawyers, and it's going to be a really, really, really big expense for them. Aiden's hearing is at 2 p.m. We're going to do it at 1:45. When I end the stream, it's going to teleport you to that stream. You're just going to hit the remind button, and then you're going to go over and watch Aiden. Thank you for all that. Thank you for watching, Denise, and thanks for being here for 14 months. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. But I think also tomorrow I have the new decisions on Rex Heuermann, which is the Long Island serial killer case. So I think I'm going to do that in the morning, like at 10. But when I end this stream, you're going to buckle your seatbelts. It's going to teleport you to the Aiden Carney hearing stream. You're going to hit the reminder bell. You're going to share it on whatever social media you choose to engage in. And then you're going to go watch him. Okay. All right. But don't say Cupcake Invasion because he gets mad. He gets mad. Just go in quietly. Go in quietly to the back of the room. Okay. Are you ready? We're going to do a drawing now. On your marks. Get set. Go. Do, 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 do. Spacey Stacy is the winner. Spacey Stacy, congratulations. You are the winner of a new tour shirt. Spacey Stacy, you must email me. Only you, your name, address, phone number, because I think they need that for shipping, and put winner in the subject of your email, and also what size shirt you would like. Okay? Check the size chart on the merch link. I love you with all of my heart, you guys. You're the greatest. Without you, I wouldn't have a channel. And Venus Blue says, can we get the new tee in a women's tank and a muscle tee? Also women's. I can send screenshots to email. Haha. I went through all the spread shop offers. Yes, absolutely. That would be great. Do you want the concert tee in that? Good. I wanted to see how this would be, how you guys would like this before I decided to put it on every little thing they have in the merch shop. So yes, you absolutely can send me those screenshots. I'll be waiting for them. Spacey Stacy, please email me all your information. I love you guys with all of my heart. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Buckle your seatbelts, and I will do all the things that you know you're supposed to do. And thank you to the moderators. This is a really hard show to do with the subject matters that we choose to cover. So stay cool, stay kind, stay classy, stay safe out there. I know you guys can do it. It's hard. It's really hard, but you can do it because you're classy. Okay? I love you. Bye.